Sorry, is it Lachlan or Lachlan?
Lachlan.
What? You're British? What the?
I just wanted to check. All right.
No, but all these fucking Americans will be like,
Yeah.
Lachlan, how's it going?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, Garnt. Joining me once again are the boys, and we are back in the Australia studio with another Aussie guest. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's Lachlan here, and keen to chat with the boys today.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. So for our audience who might not be familiar with your content, do you want to do a brief introduction about what you do?
Yeah.
What you do on YouTube, and you kind of
Yeah, no, for sure. So been making YouTube content for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Mainly doing gaming stuff. Brief summary, started off doing Minecraft. Actually first started because I really like Pokemon, and there was a mod that brought Pokemon to Minecraft. So did that. It's called Pixelmon. Did that for about a couple years. Then moved to just traditional Minecraft.
Right.
And then did Pokemon Go for a while, and then Fortnite for the last 5 years.
Right.
So yeah.
Hell yeah.
So now that we've got our first actual Fortnite creator on
Am I the first?
Yeah. You are the first.
Oh,
none
let's
None of us like Fortnite.
Yeah.
We don't.
We can actually do the meme now, guys. So
Is Fortnite overrated?
is Fortnite overrated?
Okay, bit loaded.
Have you seen that meme?
No, I haven't
It's
seen
like
this meme.
it's like these three little 10-year-old kids on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have seen
They're
that.
leaned over and they're like, "Is Fortnite overrated?"
And it's like every podcast has that meme.
Did they actually say that on the podcast, or was that just the caption underneath?
I think it actually is the
Yeah.
podcast. I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the original caption, and it just got memed.
But,
to
but I think it's because how serious they're leaned over.
yeah.
They're like, "Damn, is it though?" Like, shit.
Let's discuss.
Look, I mean, yeah, kind of. Back in the day, I think it was properly rated. Now I'd say maybe a bit overrated. Yeah,
Right,
We're
right.
being serious, which I don't think we are.
I think a lot of our audience isn't really familiar with Fortnite in general.
Yeah.
Is there kind of a way you can encapsulate how Fortnite worked or kind of had relation to your content and what your relationship to Fortnite was?
Nah, so it's like back when I first started the Fortnite kind of thing, we would just come off Pokemon Go hype. And did you guys get around Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah.
Like,
So I played Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
but I didn't have a
Every
phone.
day.
I didn't have a phone that could run Pokemon Go at the time. When did Pokemon Go come out?
2016.
16.
Yeah, yeah.
2016.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
How old was I then? No.
You were like 12.
I was 12. I had a... Okay, for some reason I couldn't play it, but I felt really left out because everyone
100%.
was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just play it on my PC.
Fuck you. No, that's
Hold up. So then, because I felt so left out that I wanted to play it, and it seemed fun because
So you were doing the spoofing thing.
So yeah, I did the spoofing thing, and then I was farming, and I was like, damn, this shit's fucking boring because I'm like walking around.
Yeah, no shit.
I was like, also, at the time, I was living in Wales, right?
Right. Which is, yeah.
And the thing that I realized really quickly about Pokemon Go is that if you don't live in a place that has stuff,
Yeah.
Pokemon Go doesn't have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True,
There was
yeah.
pretty much like two things within like 10 miles of where I lived.
Yeah.
I was like, this is shit. And so then I spoofed on the map. I clicked London. I walked 2 feet and I'd gone over 10 Pokestops. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is bullshit. London privilege once again. So anyway, I got banned pretty quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
they banned
I was
you?
teleporting.
Oh, okay.
I was going like India. All right, I'm going to go to Japan and get the Japan exclusive Pokemon. All right, I'm going back
Yeah,
to the UK.
playing Pokemon Go in Japan was like fucking
Yeah.
epic.
I bet it was.
Because
But
man.
it's
it
like-
didn't come out until months after everyone
we
else got it.
I don't know why.
Australia got it first,
Yeah,
by the way.
Australia got it first.
Yeah.
Australia got it
Rare
first.
W.
We got it last.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How does that make sense? We made it.
Yeah. That's,
Why did
Well,
Australia get it
it's
first?
like the Mario movie not coming out in Japan yet, right?
Yeah,
It's
right?
actually not.
No, it's not out in Japan yet. We're
Actually,
getting-
it's out.
It's coming out
tomorrow.
it's coming out in a day or so.
wild.
yeah. So for some reason, when Japan has an IP that's global now, we get it last in
And
Japan.
yet, for some reason, Detective Pikachu came out first in Japan.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That makes
okay,
sense.
so
Yeah.
just make up your fucking mind. Like, at that point.
Yeah, I kind of missed the Pokemon Go craze, and I was like so salty about it because I was living in Thailand at the time.
Yeah, right.
And I saw all these YouTube videos about people like going to parks and having these
Yeah.
big Pokemon Go meetups.
I was that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
also that guy,
I probably
yeah.
saw one of your early videos because I was like, I had like this big phase where I was like, oh god, I wish that was me. Came out in Thailand, and I remember I was like, yes, I'm gonna go out.
Yeah.
Walked all these Pokestops. I remember remember like going to my first Pokestop. It was about like 35-degree weather, like with like 100% humidity, and the next stop was like a 20-minute walk. I start walking for about 10 minutes, and I'm like, this ain't it, man. I can't fucking do this.
Were you Lachlan, one of the first people to like, I guess, make videos on Pokemon Go? Because I was flicking through your channel.
Everyone was making videos.
Yeah.
But I was flicking through your channel and I saw that you had a video from I think 6 years ago, which was like Pokemon Go Let's Play Part 1, and it has like 20 million views or something.
Yeah. So that was because I was following the kind of project the weeks leading up, being like, okay, no, this is gonna go crazy. Surely Pokemon out there on your phone. And then it came out like on midnight, and I literally was like downloaded my phone, rang one of my mates up like out in the suburbs. I was like, you got to come over right now, get the camera. We're going outside in the middle of the night to catch a fucking Charmander, get here. So we were like running around catching Caterpies at 2 a.m. and that's that video.
Oh, whoa. So you literally like first 2 hours filmed.
Yeah.
And then I presumably went home and just edited it and got it up.
Bang, up. And then I remember going to bed, waking up. I think my average views per video back then were like 100, 200K like over a week.
Which was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Especially for back then. And then like that video, I remember I went to bed after grinding probably like 5, 6 a.m., hit post, woke up, and it was like on a mil and a half. And I was like, hey, yo, we talking.
I'm onto something here.
Yeah. So part 2 was the next day. I woke up, hey man, we got running back.
Round 2, let's go right now.
Another hit.
Yeah. No, but it was like the biggest flash in the pan. Like after a month, it was dead.
Right.
Because you couldn't, you get your Pokemon, and that's it.
I know they brought out the raids or bosses, but it still didn't feel that engaging.
But that was also like, I think it was like a year after.
Yeah.
So I hung on for a bit because I was a bit hopium thinking it would come back.
And it didn't.
It didn't. But I remember I did a couple things. So we went to Chicago for the raids, and they had like the first big Pokemon Go event, and then like the servers didn't work because there was too many people. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then we did the Yokohama Pikachu event.
Oh yeah.
Which I was talking to you about last night, and then they launched Gen 2, and I was in Japan for that as well. But yeah,
Damn.
And then it was done in a year, kind
Yeah.
of. For
Right.
me. And then Fortnite came out, and that's how we got
Perfect timing. Perfect
So you rung up your mate and you're like, come over. We need to film it right now. It's coming out midnight.
No, actually, the first Fortnite I filmed was a sponsored video.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I remember when Fortnite came out, because I was playing FPS games around that time, and it was kind of like it was not super big right away. Like I think everyone remembers Fortnite just blowing up instantly, but I remember it was pretty slow.
Yeah, very slow. Like Pokemon Go was definitely bang.
Yeah.
But like Fortnite was like gradually over time because it was still PUBG, I think, running
PUBG
the
was
game.
big.
Right.
And then just a couple updates came out. Then Ninja started getting these viewers going, and then it definitely hit the
because I was gonna ask. I was like, from someone who like I played like one Fortnite game, and I was like, I think it's not really for me personally. But like it's always been kind of an anomaly to see, because like you always hear about like games blowing up, but I feel like the blow up of Fortnite and like the magnitude it grew to eventually was almost like unprecedented. Like it was like at the time there was not really a game that had blown up that much like overnight. Why do you think it was? Like why was it Fortnite that you think was like the game that just exploded and became what it is today?
Yeah, you know what? You try to dissect it. I actually don't know, because like Minecraft was. Would you say Minecraft would?
Minecraft was like a very gradual rise.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of dominated.
Minecraft
and
also
still
had
does.
its like ups and downs as well. It was like
Yeah.
dead for a little bit, and then it kind of came back again.
Yeah, everyone thought Minecraft was dead, and had a resurgence, and it was dead again. Then it's like there's always
Minecraft's
like the
never
loop.
gonna die.
It's never gonna die. It's like Lego, you know what I mean? It's like it'll fall off like a month or two, and then it will come back because
There's
the
too many
kids
good
will always
mods
play
as
it. You
well.
know.
It's too many good mods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I'm thinking about going back, and I thought I'd never go back. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I don't know how Fortnite and even like being a creator at the time, it was just kind of like. It was PUBG, but the graphics looked good on a thumbnail. Like the colors looked good.
It's very vibrant.
Yeah.
Very.
When you compare it to, like you said, PUBG and H1, Z1, like they're all really kind of ugly games.
Yeah,
very
like
grey.
Rust. It's like an ugly. I mean, it's just ugly. It's like COD, but somehow looks worse than COD.
Yeah.
A lot of these games. So I think it's definitely that as well. It's very more. It's easy to like show a kid Fortnite, be like, ooh,
Yeah.
The saturation.
And then you get a gun, and it's a gold gun. You get a blue, and it's like, oh, okay, this is all like kind of like hitting the serotonin points in your head.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's true.
It's fun. Like even if you're not good at it, when you find a purple gun, you're like, oh, it must be good, and then it's like it sucks or something. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, well, you know.
Yeah. I feel like as someone who's like never actually played a single game of Fortnite, yes, I am that person.
I liked Fortnite for a while.
So-
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What seasons?
Oh fuck! It was
Oh,
right
you like
before-
Fortnite name all seasons?
it was right the season before Thanos joined.
Oh, okay, that was a good one. Yeah.
Okay, I remember
Right.
that because I remember I quit and then Thanos came out and I was like, just when I thought I was out,
Yeah.
just when I thought I was out, they dragged me right back in. And I remember when that happened, that was insane.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was
Because
crazy.
at this time they hadn't done any collabs.
No, it was I think the first one, and like I
I
don't think,
started with a playable Thanos.
which is mad. But like I don't think anybody in gaming had even done anything close
no.
to that.
No.
Like,
No. And even now, Fortnite is getting all of the anime IP like
Yeah.
collaborations that
the Attack on Titan one, did you see that?
Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
Attack
all-
on
there's
Titan,
so many
Naruto,
ads for it in
fucking-
Japan right now. Like
Yeah.
every bus stop, there's just like a fucking huge ad
Yeah.
for like, oh, Mikasa and Eren are in Fortnite now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is this timeline?
We're memeing a lot about Fortnite, but I think there is genuinely so much interesting stuff to talk about
It's a
Fortnite
case
and
study,
how it
yeah.
affects the online stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, because like I said, like a lot of these IP, like Naruto, like My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, is some of like the IPs that the Japanese are so fucking protective over and have never collabed with like an outside kind of like entity,
Yeah.
like in the history of the industry. So the fact that what broke that curse was Fortnite, you know, as much as we meme it up, is fucking impressive.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever get Nintendo or Pokemon. My answer is no. I don't think they will.
No.
Like I think that's
No.
the one that they.
Yeah.
You're right. They are very protected, but I think there's another level to that, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
these boys right here, the Mario boys. I don't think they're gonna.
I just can't imagine Luigi like emoting over a kill, you know?
with a gun. Like,
Nintendo would never let Mario have a gun, man. Are you fucking kidding me?
Just Mario hitting the nene. I think a lot of these companies were protective, but you know, there's definitely a sign that, you know, because when you go to Japan, you can see that, like, you know, Levi's on cleaning products or My Hero.
wait, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They do,
That's
like,
so
they,
sick.
You know, they in Japan they're not nearly as protective as they are compared to like overseas. So like
Yeah.
they clearly were open to licensing out the IP and the characters for stuff that doesn't really make sense for the characters. I mean, with Levi with cleaning it does, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
have a Roomba that the voice is just Levi.
No way.
Yeah, so when you turn it on, it's just Levi being like, "It's time to clean," and it just starts cleaning. It's fucking epic.
They obviously have a history of being willing to give out the IP, and I think it was just a case of no one was writing the big enough checks. And I think Fortnite, Fortnite
yeah.
must have come along and offered some crazy
Must be.
compensation
Yeah.
system for it, because I think that's what it would take for them to be like, all right, yeah, I guess, yeah, sure.
Did you see the latest One Piece McDonald's collab in Japan?
No.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
god.
Chicken tartar.
Yeah,
burger
chicken.
with
They
Luffy.
remade the
That's
One
wild.
Piece opening with like Gold Roger, like having like a chicken burger and reciting the opening monologue.
need
We're
to
like,
see
if you want to find the chicken burger, you can find it in McDonald's. Dun, 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 dun.
That's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you go to McDonald's now.
Yeah, so it's obvious that they are willing to work with IPs, and yeah, it's impressive that Fortnite has had this massive international growth that has like literally like reshaped the industry. Did you know it was gonna like blow up, or was it kind of just like
I have a feeling.
a feeling?
Yeah, it was a feeling. It was definitely a feeling. It was like kind of just like, and at the time, like in this part of my career, I'd just gotten off the Pokemon Go hype train, so I was very much just like looking for the new kind of game to set up on. Because I don't know about variety. Variety for YouTube in the gaming niche is just hard because like you'll get viewers that come to watch you for a certain game.
Yeah.
And you play something else, you halve your viewership. And back then I thought the algorithm was very based on like your average viewership. I don't know if it actually was, but that was just in my head. So I'd just like to be on one game, and that way I could kind of do different things with the one game. And I think it being this kind of malleable game where you can use to tell a story or interact with the community, like it was perfect for me at the time, and it still is. It's just I think a lot of what killed the hype for like content creation on YouTube for Fortnite was just like TikTok, to be honest.
Right.
Like it just like sped everything up, and you'd sit there back then. I used to upload like 30-minute videos in Fortnite, and it would be great. You could not get away with that today. You
Like,
just can't.
generally, what drew you to Fortnite initially? Because you got addicted to the game for a while.
So
right?
brand deal,
right,
right?
right.
They paid you to
Okay,
get
but
hooked.
we've all had brand deals. Okay, not every brand deal that we do that we get, we're like, okay. I'm probably the worst to say this because I get addicted to every brand deal that I get sent. So I get it, but like, what about the game drew you to it and kept you playing after the
Because
brand
I'm sure
deal?
it wasn't the only brand deal you got, right?
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. So I guess did the brand and the video performed well, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's definitely gonna fire off
okay,
that
yeah.
that dopamine kick for sure. And it's like, all right, I want another kick. Let's go again. Just pretty much getting back in there. It was actually challenging to win as well.
Right.
Like very in the early days. So it was, actual fun experience to try and win a game. So like just recounting that, and then like, you throw in these little challenges where it's like, okay, you can only use a certain color weapon, and like that's spicy for a bit, and you could do kind of videos with other people in the community. I don't really know what like just kept me there though. I honestly, it was just fun. That's
Was it not overrated?
now it wasn't. Is it now? Is the question, right? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a bit.
You think it's changed, or do you think?
Well, it's gone through two massive stages at least. I mean, when I played Fortnite, when I did, it was kind of, I liked it, and then I didn't play it for like a 2-3 months, and then it was crushing it because all the Thanos stuff, and then I came back to play it like a year later, and everyone was insane at building. And so if you don't know, Fortnite has this mechanic where what made it unique as a battle royale was that you could build structures.
Right.
Well, but when I say structures, you could build vertical walls, floors or ceilings, and then like ramps.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is that you should build pretty quickly to move or make a cover, right? And it was a cool system, and it made sense. But then what ended up happening was that people started getting insanely good at building.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean like fast.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you found someone would just erect like a whole fucking structure.
That was
in
the
like
meme.
like 0.1 seconds, like this guy. And then I'd be playing against him. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. I'm logging off.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to fucking play this. This is like horrible for beginners.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it started to kind of slow down a little bit. And then they had this massive idea where they were like, Fortnite is falling off. Let's remove building. So they just removed the entire mechanic, and they were like, guys, it's good again. And that was their like whole kind of pitch to try and get people back into it. Am I correct in saying?
Yeah, no, got a lot of the casuals back
Yeah,
sure. That like reminisce on the old times.
Yeah.
Definitely got a few of them back in.
I think the way I found out about it, I just remembered this, was when they did that collab with like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Travis Scott and Marshmello concert that they
Yeah,
did. Like,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's how I found out about it, because I was like,
You
wait,
didn't find out about Fortnite until then?
I had known about it, but I
interesting.
remember when the Travis Scott concert was happening. That was like all over the internet, because it's like Fortnite, this fucking game, somehow got like a serious like mainstream artist to do like a virtual concert in their game, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How did that happen? And then he did the fucking McDonald's thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy will shop for a check anyway.
Always comes back to
He's
McDonald's.
getting that
like-
bag. He's getting
Yeah.
that bag.
Yeah, he's getting the bag. You know,
Yeah,
like the bag.
yeah. I think for me, like I always knew about Fortnite, but I think the moment I realized how big it was I guess one ninja who was just overnight. It felt like overnight just became like the biggest streamer and like the face of like Twitch and gaming for like a while.
Yeah.
And just like the first like esports event that they did as well, where they had like a fucking ridiculous prize pool.
Yeah, 100 mil.
Yeah.
Was it? Or I don't know if it was 100 mil. I think it was 30 mil. It was 100 mil throughout the year they spent on competitive. But
Yeah.
World Cup went crazy.
Yeah.
I played in the not the solos and the duos where like all the prize was. I was in like the creative one.
Okay.
So like as a team captain, came dead last. Guess how much I got for dead last?
$20.
No, this is Fortnite here.
6 figures?
$20,000
50 grand.
Are you
for the last.
For
wait,
last place?
What did first place get?
300K. I'm pissed about it, to be honest. Yeah. There's literally like a clip of me in the last game because it was like a they were like parkour. You guys know like parkour games where you run around, don't fall off, essentially like type of deal.
Like in Minecraft when they make those maps where you have to like not fall in the lava.
Literally that, right?
Okay,
so it was a lot of like that different type of competitive aspect, and so there were all these like professional parkour runners that we built as a team.
Professional.
Yeah, no, it was like, hey, they bagged out 300K, so like,
I guess I'm the clown.
But I remember that was like on the last game, like my team had died. And I was sitting there and I just literally sat there emote crying, knowing I can't fucking win. Like,
Did you go to a physical location for
oh,
that?
this
Or
was at the World Cup. It was a day before.
Where was this? Was this
in New York?
What was
Oh,
the?
so you flew all the way out to New York from Australia.
Yeah. Oh, I was
then
in
came
Toronto
back
at the time,
last.
so it was
Oh,
an
okay.
easy flight.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
how did you qualify for that?
Well, that one I was a captain, so like I was like
You chose the team.
I chose the team. Yeah. So it was
Right.
like kind of I made a map and people qualified by like running my map really fast.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Oh.
We took them over and got dead last.
Was this because you were already like pre-established? So
Yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
okay, we want you to be a team captain, or was there like an actual like qualification process?
No, it was very much that. Yeah,
Okay,
it was like
okay.
me, Ninja, Scissors, and a bunch of other international creators.
So you had to just be a captain of 4 random people you'd never met before.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah,
You met them in person, I assume.
Yeah.
That must be so bizarre.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, you guys are goats. You ran my map really quick. Like, let's try and bag out now. Let's do this.
Did you keep in touch with any of them, or it was like, all right, see you guys. We came last. Fuck you guys.
Cut from the
you
team.
guys fucked me. You fucked me.
We won a measly 50K.
Yeah, it ain't bad. It ain't
It's a
bad.
50K between 5 of you.
No, like 200K, 50K each. I think it might have been
50K each?
Yeah, 50K each. USD, by the way.
What?
Okay, wait.
Fortnite was handing out these bags that they never handing out anymore. They, like,
Yo, that's why it's overrated.
yeah,
now, right?
that's why it's overrated.
They don't have the bag anymore.
No, I mean they are handing out like I don't know if you guys saw like the Unreal Engine Fortnite announcement. Like it took over Twitter for a couple days. Everyone's like, "Whoa, this is Fortnite now!" And it's
Right.
like essentially you can like
Oh, I
mod
remember
Fortnite.
this. Yep, yeah.
You would have seen all of the
Yeah.
timeline. So that's like a big thing where like now 40% of the revenue that comes out of the item shop gets split between playtime on Battle Royale and creative maps that are made.
Right.
So
Oh, okay.
like they handing out bags there.
Oh.
That's a definitely a good place.
So
to
you
be.
can literally become like, I guess, making it your job.
Yeah.
In like a.
Well, that's
Professional
like that's
Fortnite map
like
creator.
the Roblox. Kind
Yeah,
of
it is
model,
literally
right?
the
And that's why
Roblox.
Roblox does so well. Is
Oh,
because
yes.
they give people who make the most popular maps a lot of money.
Well, they
A
don't
lot.
even give them the money. They
Yeah,
actually
they give them
just earn.
tokens, right?
Well, so they don't have this
Roblox.
in Fortnite, but Roblox, you can sell things in the game
Yeah, like
for
XP,
Robux.
or you can get like a gun in the game.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
very like kind of pay to win, kind of pay to
I mean,
gamble.
Roblox
Roblox-
is such an anomaly to me.
Oh,
Well,
it's-
but Roblox's system is very, very, very questionable.
Yeah, it
And
is.
A lot of like very shit. They have a whole stock exchange, which they shouldn't have.
What, in game?
Yeah, like a legit, like functioning exchange.
Oh yeah, no, for the items. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some
and-
that are worth like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's, and bear in mind this is for kids. So
Youngest
they,
demographic in gaming, probably.
They should
my
not.
God.
Like-
they actually should
I
not.
just got hit. I'm becoming my dad now.
No, I was just about to say, I'm like, this is what my dad must feel like when I hear about like, so what are the
Oh my
kids
God,
doing
I
today?
fucking get it. Like, imagine your kid comes along and she's like, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to become a professional Fortnite map builder," and you're just like, "I get it now," because I'm like, this is how my dad must have felt when I said I wanted to be a YouTuber.
Like, why are you sad, son? Roblox went down 2 points yesterday. I just sold, and it's
there's been like a lot of stories in Roblox about dudes like basically just getting like kids to make maps for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a whole
I
thing.
heard about
Slave
this.
labor.
Yeah, literally,
They'll
literally
like, they'll
child
like,
slave
they'll like
labor.
get a bunch of kids and they'll make them make stuff for them, and then they'll just take all the money.
Yeah.
the dude who like. Yeah, it's really
Holy
fucking weird.
shit.
Yeah, it's such a weird. I'm but not trying to compare Fortnite to that, because Fortnite actually sounds like it has a pretty good system that
Yeah.
rewards
Yeah.
creators. But like Roblox has gone down the other route where it's like we will literally give anyone money as long as you make stuff.
Wait,
Like,
did you do any like Roblox content at all?
No, I did like I dabbled a little bit,
Yeah.
but like I didn't get into it at all. No.
Right.
But yeah, I used to run like Minecraft servers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first kind of experience, like running a business, I guess. Because those would run in a way where it's like, come on and you pay for a rank, and then it's like, building content, and then like,
Yeah.
filming a series to help promote the server. That was like really fun for me back in the day.
Yeah,
And
I
that's-
saw. I was looking through your channel this
Yeah.
morning, and I was like, "Oh, I see you're one of the Minecraft YouTubers who are doing parody songs."
Yeah, that was always fun. Yeah. I didn't sing them though. I just like produced them.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
that was fun. Yeah, I think that's actually my most viewed video.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, yeah,
124 million views.
yeah,
or something.
yeah, it's the OG one.
Dude, I remember because like back in the day, man, like when Minecraft was at its like first peak, there was
Yeah.
like all the big like Minecraft creators were doing these parody songs. They were getting stupid views.
Yep. But I don't think they'd ever really make money because they get claimed. I think that one's claimed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was like a parody of a popular song.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know Captain Sparkles did a bunch of...
Well, his one of them, he had to change the song completely.
Oh my God.
One of his OG ones. But like, I think the big ones are like still good. It depends like your relationship with
Diamond
the record.
Sword from Tobuscus.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Some OG internet like gold there.
Yeah.
In that era.
This episode is sponsored by Harry's. Whether your ritual is minimal or elevated, level up your shave game with Harry's sleekest razor yet, the craft handle.
Their innovative design delivers the same great shave you expect with German-engineered blades that glide across your skin and a killer new look. Experience the latest and greatest in Harry's razor lineup delivered straight to your door for just $10 at harrys.com/trash taste.
$10?
And we have the biggest Harry simp right here.
I have been using Harry's since we were first sponsored by them, and I refuse to shave with anyone else. In fact, I shaved with them this morning for a lovely clean shave.
That's clean,
Look at
dog.
how-
And you can experience Harry's sleekest handle yet with their craft handle starter set for just $10. Mind you, it's valued at $17, but you can get it for just $10. It includes a craft handle 5-blade German engineered razor cartridge, shaving gel, and a travel cover. Plus, you can schedule replacement blade delivery whenever you need them with refills as low as $2.
How do they even make money? How do they,
I don't
why
know.
does it
Don't
make
know.
sense?
They're the GOAT.
Elevate your shave in the latest and greatest in Harry's razor handle lineup today. Get your $17 craft handle starter set for just $10 at harrys.com/trash taste. That's harrys.com/trash taste. You know, I'll say it one more time. harrys.com/trash taste.
Let them cook.
Back to the episode.
So you got your start in Minecraft, right?
Yeah. Minecraft was the start. Yeah, I was in.
How do you differentiate yourself in Minecraft as well?
Sorry.
When you start out in Minecraft, how do you grow because everyone's doing Minecraft?
Yeah, what was it? I think I went to like kind of a VR content phase for like 3 months in those early days when like the HTC Vive was picking up. I was doing just random Flash games like after Minecraft, before Pokemon Go. I had like a 3, 4, 5 month stint. I like to think I was like building up a community of people that were there to like just watch me play random games.
Yeah.
And then just kind of played whatever I felt was fun, and that's probably the overarching theme of like the channel for the last 10 years. I won't play something if I don't enjoy it. And like that's pretty much all the rest is history.
Yeah, because I normally see like a trend in gaming YouTubers, especially some people who start off doing a game like Minecraft, is that they find such trouble kind of like doing other content outside when that kind of like content kind of falls off. But you've managed to like switch content and switch games like several times.
Yeah.
How'd you go about like building an audience around a game, around a new game or a new style of content?
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of times it's like a gamble. It's like, all right, I've got this and I know I'll keep this.
Yeah.
But if you don't change, you're just going to eventually just go lower and lower and lower if you don't innovate.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's taking a gamble, and it's 2 steps back, 1 step forward, because your first video on a new game is gonna do worse. You just gotta stomach that. But yeah, just getting it in there and trying really hard to make that new content for that game better. And I feel like it's even easier these days than it was back then.
Right.
I feel like almost every YouTube video now these days is kind of like a TikTok, and that like it could bang or it could not bang, and it's like. Whereas in the past, it'd be like, oh, your next video is going to do worse because the last one did worse. And you get to like kind of that hole. But now it feels like if you just come with a good video, doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
It can bang hard. Like I've seen channels like 10K subscribers get videos like millions of views.
Yeah, and I feel like another good thing about like the new algorithm is that I feel like there's a safety net now, because even if a video doesn't bang like immediately, I've noticed even if you change the thumbnail or title, maybe it wasn't like optimized the best, there's still an opportunity that you can kind of like revive old videos. Whereas before, if you uploaded a video, it was 10 out of 10, you're like, it's done. I can't fucking do
next
anything.
video.
I'm irrelevant. I'm dead, you know?
The 10 out of 10s hit different.
Yeah.
Hey, you get enough of them. Next one can't be 10 out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
You start building them up. The one's
They
going to
can't all
come
be 10 out
back.
of 10s.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to get rid of it.
Really?
Yeah, the whole 1 out of 10 ranking system. Like, for like mental health. I get it. I get it. There's a rumor could not be true.
Yeah.
Verifiable source, I think. It was like somewhere in the Beast Camp I heard it from.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know they've been talking about it for a while, because a lot of content creators have kind of, been like, this is not helping me. In
Worst way to
Yes.
start the day. Wake
Yeah,
up.
it
I
is,
don't, you guys like me were like,
I woke
first
up
thing
to-
you do in the morning,
yeah.
what do? You check your phone?
I actually don't check YouTube analytics at all now.
No,
Okay.
I've stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I think, just something. I just kind of realized, like, I actually just like my days when I don't look at it.
Yeah.
But I looked today because I uploaded the video. It was 9 out of 10, which I'm fine with, because 10 out of 10 is when I'm like, because my 10 out of 10 is bad.
Yeah.
So if it goes below that, I'm like, oh, this is bad.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You upload an absolute stinker and you're like, okay, as long as it's not as bad as that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. YouTube cured my depression by removing dislikes.
Oh my god.
I am no longer depressed now. Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah. Not that I can still totally see it when I go to my YouTube dashboard or anything. You know?
Yeah, right.
It's not there publicly, so I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, congratulations, by the way, because I actually first found out about you through a Sunny V2 video.
Oh,
But it was
okay.
like, normally when Sunny V2 makes a video, it's about the fall of a YouTuber.
yeah.
Like, it's one of his few like positive kind of like videos.
Hey, shout out my boy Sonny. Oh, I'm probably right now. He's
Maybe not right now.
a little bit controversial actually right now.
Yikes.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was a weird one. I'm expecting one though to be like, I don't know. Look, we're in different days now. The channels.
Is it weird to have somebody kind of talk about your YouTube journey? And
It's cool.
It's cool?
It's cool. I actually really
okay.
enjoyed watching the video. I remember when that came out.
You're like, that's me.
I'm that guy. He's saying good things. No, he says bad things. That was a trip. It's a trip though.
Yeah.
Definitely
Right.
is like weird, but it was cool.
How accurate do you think it was? It like
It's pretty accurate at the time.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, these days and like running power and like that whole kind of esports side of things and everything around that, I've had a lot less time to focus on my own channel.
right?
Going through a bit of a break right now, awaiting a Sunny V2 kind of how he fell off. To be honest.
I actually want to make an addendum. He fell off.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you started an esports agency?
Yeah. Esports org back in 2020, right when COVID started.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from?
So back in the World Cup days of Fortnite, I was actually playing a bit of competitive Fortnite with a pro player, and we were trying to qualify for World Cup, and I really enjoyed like that competitive journey. And I wasn't that good, but the player I was playing with was really good. His name was Fresh, and he low key, high key carried me. But
Did you guys qualify?
sorry,
Did you guys qualify?
no, we got like sixth or seventh in our best duos week.
Oh, okay.
You need to get first to qualify. So because not many spots for Australia, but.
Right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the competitive journey, and I just liked being involved in just competitive Fortnite. And so Australia doesn't have much of a scene for esports, so I just wanted to get behind it and really start making content for competitive in Fortnite was definitely a big drive for me, and just bringing people together in Australia.
Right. Was it more to like grow the Australian kind of like esports scene, or because like a big thing is that starting an esports organization,
Worst financial thing you can do.
exactly. Worst
You hear horror
financial-
stories about it.
Yeah, how's that been, man?
Hey, look. What's the meme of like Moist and Ludwig burning money over a fire? See that one? Yeah, pretty accurate. Look, it's a challenge, and that's probably
Right.
why I like it, because it's like it's the first business I've ever done or business adventure that just loses money, and it's like
Right.
fundamentally
That's fucking hype. That's so sick.
it's like fundamentally that's like, to me it's like, well, this is a failure, right? Because it doesn't make money. But it's like it's not about money. It's about honestly just bringing people together, making content, because it's more than just esports. It's a content journey. We do like a lot of IRL stuff, a lot of Fortnite stuff. We have a Rocket League team as well, so we do trying to get those boys involved as well.
Right.
Sticking in like the Epic Games metaverse, I suppose, as far as like their titles at the moment. But yeah, it's just it's fun, it's different, it's really challenging, but I think we're making some good moves.
So tell me like the entire process about what goes behind actually just making an esports organization from the start.
Okay, so
Like, who do you talk to?
How do you even like start that? Yeah.
and like, well, this is the other thing as well. Is like, I think it's just me and Moist are like the only ones playing with their own money.
Yeah.
I think I think first step for most people is seek investors.
Yeah,
I
get
think.
venture capital.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Toast too, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, Toast as well.
Toast
right?
now
Yeah,
as
actually,
well, yeah.
yeah. No, that's true. But yeah, I think it's just honestly.
So step one, find money.
Find money. Find money. Step one.
Find money you want to burn.
What percentage of what I have can I burn?
Yeah, literally. Well, that's the conversation I had for myself. You just start with I have a really good kind of business partner that I've had from like kind of the start. His name's Billy. Like started off in like kind of very professional lawyer services, so he helped me out with getting everything started and brought over kind of my team from like my editing team and stuff that I'd already built from my channel and just try to like scale it a little bit.
Right.
And then just hiring people and contracting players.
How'd you go about like finding players that you want to contract for your team and your organization? Do you have like trials or is
it's very much just like what are their goals and do they align with ours?
Right.
So our goals aren't like our goals. I mean, we're trying to definitely.
Is winning not the goal?
Yeah.
Don't be shit.
But that's like, I feel like that's kind of a fallacy. It's like winning for teams, I feel like is the highest priority, right? It's like, and I get it, right? You're not going in to lose. Like, you're obviously trying to win, but the top orgs at the top level, they got this money glitch coming in from somewhere. We don't know where it is, but they're spending so much on the top player, so to win it's very expensive, and that's why no one makes any money. Because they're just ego bowling each other to try and get the best players. So I actually like, for me it's about picking the best talent in Australia and how we can prop them up to compete at an international level, because the meme is Australia goes overseas, we don't win. And it's like, you look at League, I don't know if you guys follow any esports?
I follow
Yes.
All my knowledge of esports comes from basically like League.
Yeah, they
games.
dissolved.
Yeah, well, they got rid of the League completely.
Like, gone.
Oh yeah,
because they were like, no one's watching.
Damn. no one's watching. And then so there's the time zone from like a commercial side. You're only putting it out to people who live in Australia, 30 million. So that's your viewership. And do they like esports? Well, not really, because we don't win. So it's kind of this weird relationship, right? So I think that's the big part of it. And trying to prop up those Australian players so that they can actually compete at the highest level.
Right. One thing I've always been curious about is, okay, you find the players because, you know, in the top kind of echelon of whatever game you're playing, there's only a few you can pick from that are like, can perform at the top level. How'd you go about finding coaching and you know, that kind of getting that environment to really coach them into a esports kind of like environment?
Yeah, I've actually been pretty lucky with that one. The coach is actually not too hard.
Oh, really?
Had some really good like people in, you know, Fortnite and Rocket League who have just been from other organizations and just getting them involved. Like, no, that one's actually a pretty easy one.
Yeah, well, what do you think makes a good coach? Because I've always found it so interesting because like...
Our coach is doing a panel on this at DreamHack, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay. Awesome. I'll fucking go there,
I don't know if I'm qualified to speak on it, but like his coaching philosophy, this is Jim, our Rocket League coach, is he doesn't come from much of a gameplay perspective. He comes from more of a mental and like psychological perspective on you know, trying to not tilt and setting up the players best for those kinds of... Rocket League's an interesting one. Like, it's very tilt heavy. Kind of specific esport.
Well, I would argue every esport is,
yeah.
right?
I've seen the Smash compilations. You know?
I think because Rocket League doesn't give you much time to breathe.
Yeah.
League of Legends, if you die, you have 30 seconds to like compose yourself and like, all right, okay, I gotta get back in the game.
Yeah.
Rocket League's like, oh, I've just tilted and we've lost 4 goals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a fun one though. I really like Rocket League because I think anybody can understand what's going on.
Right.
That's why I love it.
That's what I love about the fighting game community, which is like, obviously fighting games, people tilt, but that's part of like the community, right? Of course. It's the soul,
that's
you know?
The best part.
They embrace it, you know? That's the best part of it, yeah.
I'm curious from like the esports perspective of like, let's say you have like League of Legends, you have 10 teams, right? Who compete every week or whatever. You know, where do you have to be on that, like in that top 10 for your team to be kind of breaking even or making money? Like, because, and I imagine the problem balloons even more so with like Fortnite or Apex when there's like, you know, there's so many people, right? Because at least in League, right, maybe there's 50 people total. You know, Apex, maybe there's, you know, 180 people you have to kind of get to that level where somehow everyone can make just enough to survive.
Yeah.
And I find... like, what does it look like? Like, if we're in a game of Fortnite, which how many people are in a Fortnite game?
100.
Like, okay, let's say we're in a pro Fortnite match, right?
Yeah.
How many of that 100 are living off of playing it professionally, and how many of them have to do other stuff in that spare time?
I saw an article on this. Depends on the region.
Okay.
In Australia, I don't
Like 5%.
even then. Like,
wow.
like the prize pool, they really nerfed it after World Cup. Like it's
Yeah.
just gone down ever since.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I honestly I don't think you could alone from a pure competitive standpoint. And that's why we try to really get the players involved
Yeah.
with content, because that's
how you make
that's what you pitch. I know it's
Yeah.
like so kind of like oversaid at this point of like, oh,
Well, it's
orgs aren't profitable because they don't
turning,
make content.
Yeah, it's like turning, if you have like a Michael Jordan, right? You're like, hey, you should do Space Jam. You should,
Yeah.
should do, it's like, hey, this is how.
Hey, you should stream. I
yeah,
don't
you
want to
should do
stream.
more stuff. Yeah.
Like
It's
diversify while your like I guess name value is like at its highest, right? Just to
Yeah.
make sure to be like, all right, yeah, you can make money in other revenues, just in case you fucking fall off a cliff skill wise, and you're not winning these games or whatever, right?
But it's a hard conversation to have with them because like their goal is just win.
Yeah.
It's not about like, if I put on a stream, I play worse so I don't stream. And
Right.
like that's a hard, chat I've had with players, because I'm like, I'd kill to have your skill and be able to create content and stream. Like I
Oh,
would
yeah.
actually kill for that. But like for them, it's just like, got third last week and we're looking for first. And it's like, I'm that's part of our agenda too. We want to win too. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm just, more trying to preach that kind of stability, because like
Right.
esports is very cutthroat.
It is. Like, okay, like in your experience, even if an esports organization was consistently winning and that's all they were doing, is that still enough to like, is the prize pool enough to make them a profitable business or something that can break even?
Yeah, because even that's a weird one. Like, for me, it's like, do people care about the org? Like
Right.
that's my biggest goal. It's like,
Right,
I
cool.
don't really care about winning. Like going back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, great. We want to win. We want to
Yeah.
build a story. Don't get me wrong. And we're working towards that. And because you can really use that win with a story to create a reason for people to care.
Yeah.
But I think that's where like a lot of, these orgs go for just that winning. And it's like, oh, we won. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Might get a few partnerships out of that. Like I'm sure everyone loves being with the winning team. But I think if you're not able to tell the story as well, then
Right.
it gets a bit rough. And I think G2 would be a good example of a team that does that.
Yeah.
Like really tells the story and wins.
Well, they have a huge content focus. Even
Yeah,
if the players
yeah.
aren't doing it, they're like, well, we'll always have a crew.
Yeah.
And we'll always film stuff. I think that's, but also, at least for their league team, they have quite a lot of characters who are pretty engaging and
Yeah.
always doing some fun stuff.
I think from like a spectator, like kind of like viewpoint, obviously like winning is the easiest way to get someone invested in your team, because obviously there are a lot of people who just like cheering for a team that wins.
Yeah.
But saying this as an Arsenal fan who got in back in the good old days, and now is like a kind of like a G2 fan for League.
I'm a G2 fan too.
Yeah, really? Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, EU.
Yeah,
true.
EU, baby. But one thing that really drew me towards both of these teams before the winning was just having this really exciting play style, or just like being like excited every time to see them play, because they had like a really kind of different play style as well. So even if you're just doing something exciting in the game, aside from just making content as well, because from my perspective, I started watching that content after I saw the exciting things that they were doing in game. So I was like, shit, I want to check these guys out. And then after that did I become a fan? Do you have like a kind of like a, let's say like a strategy to try and get people invested in your organization?
Yeah, and I mean it definitely is mainly around that content focus. Like I mean, for our channel on Power, we definitely try to involve as much around the community and the content creators within Australia.
Yeah.
To try and very much get people on board, so that when they see us in a Rocket League game or when they see us in a Fortnite, it's like, oh, these guys create great content, and that's why I want to get behind them.
Yeah.
That is the strategy for us at the moment, I would say.
Do you guys have a content house or like
No, so we've
a powerhouse?
That's literally what it was called. It was called a powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
We did
Yeah.
it for like 1 month in Sydney, and we had our pro players come play on Zero Ping, compete in the finals.
Yeah.
And then we just filmed a bunch of content. It was a great kind of test to see if it would work, and the videos did really well. Competitive players, I think we got a top 5 in there. And that was a good test. So now we're actually building a studio in Melbourne, which hopefully opens up in like a couple months. And that'll be the next big kind of investment from us to really have creative people there. It won't be more so for the players, it'll be more so for the team and the content to really flourish.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the orgs are focusing on, you know, like merchandise and apparel, like building kind of some form of like
Turning
you mentioned,
it into
like
a
engagement
brand,
and the brand and loyalty in the brand, which makes sense, right? Because YouTubers, one of the biggest ways they make money is merch. You know, it's one of the best margins in terms of you know, what the viewer gets something and they get to support you. So it's a good way of going about it. But I wonder how long it'll keep being like that. I wonder.
Yeah, like how involved are you in terms of like bringing your own personal branding of like your, you know, content creator YouTube kind of side of things into this esports organization? Because I feel like you guys, like you and Moist and Ludwig and Toast, have a inherent advantage in that you already have a lot of people invested in you as a person. So bringing that kind of like brand power to your organization means it's an easy way to kind of like create people who are invested in your team.
100%. And it's like kind of like the story already started 10 years ago, and like this is like the end of it, like, or I suppose the current stage of it in the organization. It's definitely bringing a lot of that branding. Like I came from a full content creator perspective. I was like, the only way we're even going to get close to profitable is just making content, so let's just start there and work off players who have, you know, I suppose like kind of you were saying with G2, like more of a personality. And you know, if they win, that's great too. Like love that. And we got a few of those guys that are great characters and just really want to get involved in content, but also put in hard work at being the best at their game.
Is it ever a question of, you know, can the esports agency that's like you mentioned, like Moist or whatever, can that org ever eclipse your own kind of influence and following, or is it something where it's always in the shadow of?
I would say it's probably above mine right now. Really? To be honest, yeah. Well, and that's
nice.
Well, and it's not even because that's because mainly my numbers have dropped off.
Yo, Sonny, I'm waiting.
Trade offer. Nah, look, but that's the thing is that like I run Power. I don't have like a CEO. I looked at it and they were all like, hey, 400K a year, and I was like, hey, I'll do it myself. And then, which is probably dumb in hindsight, because like I've definitely sacrificed a lot of time on my own channel because this has been my main priority.
Right. But also, I think it's whatever you enjoy doing.
If
that's something that is more rewarding for you in your current stage of life, then like you know how to make videos. If you want to go back, you could easily start that grind and get back into it, I think.
Yeah, and I get tempted a lot, and I'm like, I'm taking a few months off. Like I think I was talking to you guys about traveling. Like gonna travel the next 2 months and just focus on Power and just kind of put my channel to the back for a bit, and then maybe come back to the studio in Melbourne and maybe rejig up my channel again. But at the moment, it's my number one priority is Power, because I think winning with a team is way cooler than winning by yourself. And that's what the channel was for 10 years, just doing well. But it's like, you know, you party with the other content creators, but it's like, imagine partying with the team. Like, to me, that's just so much cooler and so much more rewarding.
For sure, yeah.
Did you just say it's the friends we made along the way?
Hey.
We're Nakama. It's not about winning. We're a family. It's about the friends we made
take
along
care of
the
each
way,
other.
okay?
Sounds some anime shit right here. Yeah.
It's very anime. We didn't ask, and I should have asked this. What games does your org compete in?
Yeah, so it's Fortnite. We started there.
Okay.
And then Rocket League, which we were the first Australian team to ever sweep an NA team in Rocket League earlier this year.
Congrats.
So I consider that a huge W for us. It was G2 as well, by the way. Yeah, we loved that one. We loved that. And then, Fortnite, we've got 6 players, one of which got top 5 at DreamHack San Diego.
Fuck yeah, nice.
And he's going to Gamers 8 for that big $2 million tournament later this year.
Best of luck.
Yeah, no.
To bring home some money.
No. I suppose, I mean, I think similar orgs have it, but we don't take any prize money. That's kind of theirs, and we just help build everything else around it.
Yeah.
Which I think is definitely probably the better way of doing it.
Makes more sense.
How's it feel seeing your team compete?
So good. Like, okay, so here's the thing. Have you guys watched like Moist's Rocket League watch parties?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
so good. So good.
Yeah.
Like,
Joyo! You must eat! Rise! Yeah! Oh!
So like, I watch him, right? And he's like, I was back in the spring major last year. We were competing. And I was streaming hours on YouTube, but we only made it past one round, and it was depressing because it was like 0-3, 0-3, we're out, and it was like, fuck. And then I'm sitting there living through Charlie, watching his team win. I'm like, fuck, man, I want that so bad. And they won it. And then they won it, and I was like, fuck, man, I feel so good for him right now. I've done the opposite spectrum of like stream my team just getting absolutely rinsed by FaZe Clan and just another team, and it's just like I think I've watched Charlie his team lose. It's like.
It's depressing.
It's depressing as fuck.
But also that's the journey. Right?
But and it's
like
also the content.
Yeah,
right?
Like, you're getting depressed.
Viewers they're loving watching your pain.
I saw Lotto just fucking like looking so defeated when his team lost. It was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, like you see the highs, you get the lows, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah.
Because you see a man who's invested, like money and emotion.
Yeah.
It's like if you watched your Arsenal, but every time Arsenal lost, you would lose 50k.
No, I know.
It's so much more fun to watch.
Stakes are so much higher.
It's like, this is great.
It's like a
That's just
deeper
high stakes gambling at that
Yeah,
point.
no, I was gonna
right?
say it's a deeper level in the game. It's like higher stakes because not even
Yeah.
just money, it's also time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like the next
great.
level of sports betting. It's like I don't sports bet. I make my own esports team and then I bet on them.
But also,
You know?
it's kind of five head because they're buying essentially just guaranteed content for themselves as well.
Yeah.
Because you get that every single week or whatever they're playing. You get to stream it, and you get to then make money off of those streams.
Yeah, it's good in the content calendar wheel.
It's,
like
you know.
for streamers specifically as well. Like I'm not much of a streamer. Like I started making YouTube content, but I did do like a 2-year YouTube deal streaming a while back, and that was where I really got into streaming, and it was interesting to learn. Like
Not into the streaming because you got the YouTube deal as like the first wave.
Yeah, we were on the first wave of it back in the day. That when Mixer was really starting to pipe up, and Mixer signed Ninja, and then first Streamer War started, and it cooled. And that's actually kind of back now. Kick, is back. Heard a couple rumblings going on.
Just sign my deal, damn. Okay, no, I love Twitch. I love Twitch. Please.
This episode is sponsored by Vessi Shoes.
I will never leave the house unless I'm wearing Vessies. If you've seen a picture of any of us in the past few years or months, we are most definitely wearing a pair of Vessies, and there's a good reason. Tell them why, Garnt.
I do not have another pair of shoes that are as comfortable, as breathable, and they're just waterproof. One of my biggest complaints about life is that when I'd go outside in England, I'd go out into the rain and I'd always come back with wet socks.
Disgusting.
And with their 4-way stretch, lightweight comfort, and easy and on-off accessibility, it is the perfect shoe. And best of all, super easy to clean.
Honestly, one of the big reasons is that I don't have to think about my footwear whenever I take a trip or something, because Vessies is good for whatever occasion you can think of.
They're so good that I wore them to Garnt's wedding, so you know that they are suitable for any situation, anywhere you are in the world. So if you want to join the Vessi gang like we have, then make sure to go over to vessi.com/trashtaste and use our coupon code TRASHTASTE at checkout to get 15% off your order. Do it now.
See you there.
Thank you very much to Vessi for sponsoring us today. Back to the video.
One thing I wanted to ask actually is like, are you planning to like kind of extend to other games as well with Power?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's in the books for 2023 this year. It's and that's like kind of part of it is like surveying which game to go next.
Would you be interested in like, because you obviously like massive Pokemon fan, right? Like, have you ever thought about like going into like the competitive Pokemon scene or?
That's interesting. That started really hitting my like For You page on YouTube.
Yeah,
what's
it's
the
like
guy
really
Wolfie?
blown up recently. I feel.
Is it Wolfie?
Yeah, Wolfie.
Yeah, he's making some great content.
Yeah.
Like really good storytelling.
He's been innovating, but also when you're playing with a Nintendo property.
Nah,
there's-
so the answer is no. But
Yeah.
There's
I was
always
gonna
that
say.
looming thought of like, when are they going to decide they don't like this?
Yeah, when are they
anymore?
going to shut it down? Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all the Smash like shitstorm going on.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh
it's
my
crazy
God.
that they just don't want any esports. Like they actively, where other games like
Embrace.
Blizzard Activision
Embrace it, yeah.
will pay hundreds of millions of dollars to get something. Nintendo will actively be like, fuck this, fuck you, don't play our games longer than we tell you to.
I just don't think they
Yeah.
really like understand the scene enough, and they.
I think I feel like it's gone way too long. Where we can't use that as an excuse
you
anymore.
don't think?
I think they understand it. They just don't want it. I feel like that is not their goal as a company.
They are that fucking granddad who's just like, what is esports? I don't understand this.
I only watch real sports.
That's not real sports. Yeah, because it feels like you know, especially in Japan, I don't know how big the esports scene is in Japan, but I know it's like almost non-existent in terms of like league.
Is it Valorant or is it?
Valorant's pretty big in Japan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Valorant might be the number
Apex
one
is
for
also
Japan.
huge in Japan.
Yeah, no,
Right,
Apex won the Battle Royale war in Japan.
Oh yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, and like they're getting Eren Jaegers and they're still not winning. Like,
Yeah.
how's that? How's that? No wonder you got posters everywhere. No, they're trying to win a war over there.
I think it's like kids love Fortnite in Japan.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the moment they kind of get older,
Yeah,
it's Apex. Everyone plays Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Valorant is also massively taken off.
Yeah.
League.
Thank all the
League-
VTubers for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of VTubers actually. And
Yeah,
streamers push Apex.
Yeah, right.
I think it was actually the VTubers that originally, especially with Apex, blew it up in Japan because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of like pretty top level Japanese VTubers who got really fucking good at Apex.
Well, they
And-
also have like I think it's not maybe bi-weekly or monthly VTuber Apex tournaments. in
Oh
Japan,
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
pretty big.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically VTubers control the Japanese meta about what,
pretty
what
much.
games gets played, right?
MOBAs they do not like in Japan.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's Korea.
Yeah, Korea loves MOBAs.
Yeah,
Japan
yeah.
does not want MOBAs.
Are you playing any games outside of like Fortnite and
Yeah, what games
you know,
are you
your
playing
content?
personally?
You know what's crazy? It's gonna sound cringe, but it's actually Fortnite.
It's okay. I played TFT and that's like the most cringe game of all.
Oh, actually, you know what? I've started playing a bit. Super Auto Pets, actually, casually.
that is
game-
kind of like TFT.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's a chess, right?
Yeah. Auto chess. Yeah, I love auto chess games.
That one's surprisingly fun to play. With friends as well. We used to play the Dota one, the Dota chess, and then I just
That was the first auto chess.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
and then
And then
they'd
they
be
ripped it
like
off and did it
yoink,
better. Yeah.
and then it's always funny how those happen. But yeah, no, honestly, it's like I'll probably wake up and still like get in at least a game of Fortnite.
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
probably addicted to Fortnite.
right?
Like, and I don't even make much content on it anymore. It's just like
Yeah,
I had
right.
some habitually ingrained in me for 5 years of making content on the game. Because a lot of times in that journey of like making content when I was daily uploading and stuff, it would be, let's just play to figure out what to record and like what can I like let's on the fly here make something up while playing a game.
Yeah.
And then that just become a habit to just play a game every day. And it's like,
Well, I think the
play.
big thing about getting into a new competitive game is that when you put so much time into like learning the mechanics of one game, it's really hard to just jump into another game casually and be like, I want to spend time learning this game now, right? Because that's why I will never play another MOBA outside of League. Because like, there was a time when I enjoyed League of Legends. I spent God knows how many hours just learning the basic fucking how to play the game and
Yeah.
how the game works, and I do not have that time in my life anymore.
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
Yeah. Is there any like if you could pick any games that you would want Power to like kind of like be represented in, like
Yeah, regardless of like
Regardless.
logistics.
So
yeah,
also
regardless
just-
of logistics. I
what-
mean, we
what would
wanted
you
to do Valorant. We were looking into that pretty heavily. Then they went franchised,
Right.
which
What does that mean when they get franchised?
essentially it was like kind of like invite only, and we weren't in it yet, so it kind of made sense. Like, but
Yeah.
they didn't pick any Australian teams in the franchise model. There's none.
yeah.
There was going to be one, and then they went bankrupt. Welcome to esports.
Maybe
Like everybody's going bankrupt.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Well, CLG recently announced they're
Yeah.
dialing back, and then Guard fired all of their employees.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I think V1 was talking about looking for a merger. I think I saw like, and then I saw TSM dialing back or something like
TSM,
that.
Which is
Yeah.
like, if TSM is dialing back, that's pretty scary for the whole industry because that's like one of the biggest brand name orgs.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm guessing being an Australian esports team, you guys are always seen as the underdogs.
Yeah, and actually I love it because when we win, it's gonna feel so fucking good. Like, and that's why you gotta get behind us, because when we go to a tournament, we are fundamentally not meant to win, right?
Yeah,
Like, and that's
yeah.
like the whole Aussie spirit's underdog. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is it.
How much do you think crappy Australian internet has played a role in their weak esports showing?
Yeah, because I was
It's-
gonna ask.
It's definitely part of it. Like, we'll still get Rocket League games, and it's like guys drop down. It's like, oh yeah, internet. Like,
Yeah.
give them
Yeah.
a bit. Like, there's like a literal like I think we have a higher. I could be wrong, but I think there's like we take more referee pauses like than any other region in RLCS because it's like internet. Like, it's just a common thing, especially when people are playing out rural. It's like, yeah, okay, his internet's out. Like, will he come back? Coin flip, we don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely a part. And I would say even YouTube as well. Like, early on, I had to get my video done by 8 p.m. so that I could upload it overnight.
Yeah,
so that
I was there as well.
Yeah.
I because when I was living in Australia making content, I was also uploading daily.
Yeah.
And there'd be like an off peak, and then there'll be an on peak. And if you didn't upload during the, or if you uploaded during the on peak, then by the end of the month, your internet was just fucked.
Yeah.
Because there's always a cap to it. So you had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how it worked. Yeah.
Oh, we were brokies for sure.
Yeah.
Our internet's so bad.
So basically, how it.
Australian internet is notoriously bad.
Yeah. So basically, how it worked was that I think it's like between like 12 a.m. and. When was it? It was like...
For me, I think it started at 10 p.m.
Yeah, it was like 10 p.m.-ish. There would be an off-peak, which is basically... It's basically like you're separating the data cap into two halves. One during the day and one during the night. And if you exhausted it during one of the peaks, then the other peak would be affected. So basically, your internet would just go down to dial-up speed until it would refresh the next month. And so when I was uploading, when I was uploading daily, I had to basically upload it overnight because not only was the internet so incredibly fucking slow that it took all night to upload, but also if I did it during the day, then I would exhaust the peak, and then my dad would come into my room pissed off as fuck, being like, "Why is my internet at dial-up speed? Because you uploaded all this shit and basically capped out our data limit."
And you lived in Sydney, so you weren't like in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Dude, I had 0.3 upload.
Were you in the city?
I was just outside of the city. I was in Northern Beaches.
Because apparently for like the way they like refresh the internet is for some places they started outside then in the city. Like they didn't start from the city and then go out. They went out from the suburbs into the city. I think Melbourne's like that from what I've heard. Where like people in Melbourne still in the city kind of have shit net.
I don't think it was like that for us. I think it was just kind of in Sydney. It was just like overnight everyone would just like get it refreshed.
Yeah.
But either way, like I had to basically like really downscale my videos to make the files as small as possible. One, because it would take a billion years to upload, so that I wouldn't be able to make the daily upload schedule. But two, if I was uploading like a gigabyte video files every single day, dude, my internet would be out in like the first 10 days.
Yeah.
And then I'd have dial-up for the next 20 days, which is just like
when I first got an editor,
horrendous.
I started uploading the raw footage, and that's when I realized, oh shit, my internet is so slow.
Yeah.
Because a YouTube video, you'd render it and it would come out, and it's 1080p, and it would maybe come out to like 700 megabytes, maybe a gigabyte tops, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But then when you start uploading raw footage, and then this raw footage is 3 hours long and there's two camera angles, you're like, oh, this is gonna take 4 days.
Yeah, so I couldn't upload 1080p videos while I was living in Australia because the files were too big.
Yeah.
So the first 2.5 years, I was uploading 720p at most, and I was using like a program to like basically scale it down and to sacrifice like graphical quality or like audio quality just so I could upload it without going over my cap.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was horrendous. And then, by the time I moved out to Australia, because my PC was basically on 24 hours for 2.5 years straight, it exploded one day. And it like actually burst into flames. And I was like, well, guess I'm moving to Japan now.
Wow, that's the catalyst.
You take it for granted in Japan though, how lucky you are to have insane
Yeah.
internet speeds everywhere.
Because you have insane speeds even through like mobile connections.
Yeah.
And there's no cap either.
Yeah, there's no cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I upload like a terabyte of files, and I'm like, all right, I'll be done by dinner time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is the Australian internet still bad?
It's not bad now. Like there's like a couple good providers now, and like they've got NBN infrastructure in most places.
The National Broadband Network,
Yeah, which was hairy for a while there. But it's good now. It's good. Not terabytes, but like, we do a couple gigabytes.
Nice. Hell yeah.
How's the ping in Australian like competitive games? Because it's like a meme in the League community where everyone's trying to figure out why NA, like North America, sucks so bad, and there's like a million different like fucking excuses, and one of them is just like, oh, it's because of the ping.
Because because the servers are like in the middle of America.
Yeah, the servers are in the middle of America, and they're all in California, LA. So it's like, the pro players can't get like good practice. And so what happens?
They play on like 60 ping, right? 60 ms.
That's kind of a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do play on like 60.
Yeah. I think in Korea it's like 3 or something, right?
It's like 10 or below 10 in Korea.
Yeah.
I think I get like 15. in Tokyo, which is pretty.
Dude, when I was in Australia and like before the national broadband network came out, and I was playing like Gmod with like a bunch of my friends in America, like I had like 300 on a good day.
Yeah. Well, that was like, because during my early days doing Minecraft, like 2014, like I was recording with Americans. Like I was the only Aussie, and I was like, it was the meme of like me being like flying around the screen just like this. Like, they call me like the blur because I would be blurring all over the spot.
through everywhere.
Yeah, legit. But I mean, it was good fun waking up at bad hours. It's good. It was the grind days for sure.
Yeah, but like, how bad is like the ping now when it comes to like cultivating kind of like a competitive scene here in Australia?
Yeah, so it's not bad. So all the servers based in Sydney.
Right.
Yeah, so we did that one thing where we flew our players down to Sydney and played some games out there to have 0 ping, because in Fortnite ping is essential for taking their walls. So you'd pickaxe the wall and it would be like who places it first next, and it's who's ever closest to the server.
Right.
Yeah.
They said they
You're,
added
like, spamming it, right?
you're both spamming it, and it's like they say it's a coin flip on like a 50-50 chance, but if your ping's good enough it doesn't do the coin flip and you just get it.
Yeah, right.
And like that's a big key mechanic for like fighting, because if you take their wall, you can edit and then get a free shot.
Right.
So that's like
if
big
if you build the wall in Fortnite, you can actually like, because it's a 3x3, you can actually like press a button that allows you to remove parts of the wall.
Yeah.
So you can imagine it, right? If you've boxed someone in and you're the one who built the wall, you can quickly, know exactly when you're going to remove a section of this wall, and then you can just shoot through it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like I could just remove a portion and just shoot them and then put it back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
They can't do anything.
Oh.
Yeah, they just sit there and take it.
Yeah. So that's why, so I guess ping is a big factor.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a big deal.
So that's like in America right now, they even just did it with Fortnite, where they had the East servers and the West servers, and they just randomly like, hey, it's all going central. So like all these guys had set up boot camps on the East Coast because that was the biggest dominant competitive scene. And they've all just moved to Texas to compete.
Jesus Christ. It's crazy to think that like so much infrastructure that's already built could just be overturned by where they're like, we're going to move the server. It's it's kind of insane to think.
No, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know how big kind of like esports plays a factor into business decisions that they make.
yeah.
I can't imagine it plays like the biggest factor,
For America, I think it definitely would be. We think about it for our logistics. I know like the Apex teams in Australia are actually, I know I said before that, Australian teams go international and they don't win. The Apex teams, and I actually got to meet Jen Burton, I think his name is, in a tournament I did last week. So he's actually a part of the elusive Australians that go overseas and win.
Right.
Nice.
They won a couple of the international Apex tournaments last year. And so they will qualify through Asia, play against Japanese teams, and actually win on like 160 ping. Like games, because the game's got good enough netcode that like, and I experienced
It's
this
really
myself.
not hard to play on bad ping.
Yeah, it's actually very good
really
for it. Like I played the whole tournament on 200 ping and it felt fine.
It's like Overwatch is like that. Overwatch, when I played it, I noticed that the ping didn't feel that bad. But like other games, like Valorant, you're like, I die now.
Yeah, Fortnite's horrible for a high ping as well.
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, no. So like they'll play on 160 and win, which I think is
That's pretty cool.
insane.
Yeah.
Like
Before what you mentioned before, have you ever competed yourself in any other tournaments? Or tried to, man?
just the Fortnite stuff, I think was it. I was gonna do a Pokemon Go tournament earlier this year just for a meme, for a little throwback meme, because they've actually got like a competitive aspect to that now too.
How'd you be competitive in Pokemon Go?
Oh, because you can battle each other now.
Yeah, don't you guys play? I actually
yeah.
unironically play.
I stopped playing, I think, about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the middle of the pandemic. Like, when the pandemic started, I was like, well, I can't go outside, so can't really play it.
Shit, the pandemic must have murdered Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know what they did. I wasn't playing back then.
They did something that allowed you to go to Pokestops without physically being there.
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't that remove the whole point of Pokemon Go?
Yeah, but no one could go outside.
Yeah.
So they had to do something.
Yeah.
Like, the game just died.
But I remember when I was still playing it, they introduced like basically like a battle system where like you could pick like 3 Pokemon,
Right.
and then based on your what was the power scaling called in Pokemon Go again? It was like the points
CP?
or whatever. CP, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
What a
the
bad
worst
acronym.
name ever. Yeah, so it's like you take in 3 Pokemon and then and your CP would actually just account, I think, for like the HP or something, and then you basically just like battle it out, see, you know, who gets
Tap
knocked
the
out.
screen.
Yeah, tap
Right.
the screen. You know, like
it's
do
not.
all that.
It has competitive things. It's like the VGC game. It's like
Right.
kind of random, but kind of skill. Like, you know, this could work, or what moves are they running is like the biggest competitive depth to it. There's not much competitive depth to it at all, which is why I thought I could actually walk in there, maybe do something. But,
Yeah.
I can flick a win.
yeah, I think you could, because you could just you just look up your kind of what the tier lists are online and just go with something like that.
That makes sense.
But no, I didn't manage to get that done. But no, not really involved in anything else outside of Fortnite. That's just been
You must have traveled quite a lot during like your Pokemon Go content phase then.
Yes. Yeah, we caught all the regionals.
Right.
Caught all the ones you had to go like America and Japan for.
Oh my god! Did you make content doing that? Being like, I'm gonna go on a flight now to go and get a Pokemon Go from Japan.
100%. That's the whole. That's what's taking me.
Or
you
what
know?
was it? As like Farfetch'd you could only catch in Japan.
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
Which one was the European one? Was it Taurus or
Mr. Mime.
And
Yeah.
Kangaskhan
Yeah.
was Australia. Right?
Yeah.
of course it was.
We were
Yeah.
Kangaskhan. Yeah, so did a bit of traveling there. Yeah, did all of them. Did Europe.
Fuck.
Must have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just got a vacation, right?
Yeah, around the world in 80 days, funded by Pokemon Go. Right?
Well, it was actually even better because I think that one was like Gamescom. So it was like, and I was with the EA playing Battlefield. So it was like I was doing that and then doing this as well.
Right.
Because I was still running a second channel playing other games and
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, no, lots of traveling. And
How many countries did you end up hitting up purely for Pokemon Go? Can you even remember?
I can't honestly. It's got to be at least. It's got to be at least 6, I reckon.
Okay,
Because
okay.
America, Canada, Japan. I mean, do we count Australia? Not really. I'm already there. Germany, UK, and then there was some. I think Dubai as well.
What do you think of the UK?
Yeah, I actually really like the UK. Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. No, is that my trash take? Is that-
That is a hot take.
I like the people there. The
What
weather.
are you talking about?
Okay. If we're
Wait.
talking people ranking, I would say, and I think it's because
People, right? Let's
Rank
rank.
people. Let's rank people. Okay, that's fine.
That's
That's
why I
tier
go
list.
there.
Let's
right?
do this. Let's do this. People tier list.
So I feel like because like bless up the Queen, like Australia, Canada, and UK people like just gel the most.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I get on with everybody. Like I lived in Canada for like about a year. Everyone there super friendly,
Yeah,
super
very
nice.
chill.
Yeah.
UK feels like Sydney in some aspects.
Yeah, it feels like Sydney, but worse. Like more depressing.
Yes, so very grey.
Yes.
Like, that's what I would use. Like very,
It's Sydney if it was just perpetually shit weather.
yes,
You know,
That's what I
Yes.
like about it. That's
Yeah.
what- It humbles you.
but like people there are great. I don't know. Like obviously I've collaborated a lot with the Sidemen,
Yeah, yeah.
and like they're always up to some crazy mad shit. Like they've been on a run for a long time, so it's
Yeah.
always good hanging out with those guys. And I honestly just have a lot of fun when I go to the UK. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, UK and Australia is very close culturally, I would say,
Yep.
especially like the people. And I'm just like, every time I meet an Australian and go to Australia, I was like, oh, this is what the UK could be like if we were happy. you know, so I'm like, to me, like British people are like a step, like if we're tiering the tier list, it's like British people step down from Australians because they're just less happy.
Okay, but who's S tier in this?
who's S tier?
We S-tiering people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we are.
S-tiering a nationality.
Oh god.
Is that racist?
I'm white, so I can only do white country.
Well, then we're amongst the white countries. What's S tier?
Yeah.
I'm not,
It's like to me as a Southeast Asian, I'm like I've seen so much like similarities where I hang out with like Latin America people. It's like you know, Aussies, UK, New Zealand, Canada, they all gel well. I feel like Southeast Asian and Latin America people, you know, it's just yeah. Also fits like a glove as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what else though.
Yeah.
What about your Japanese side? Who'd you get along the most with from your Japanese side?
Well, considering how xenophobic we are, we only really hang out with Japanese people. Because like everybody else is F tier, according to Japan. We are S tier, everybody else F tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you've actually been to Japan, right?
Yeah. So I lived in. Now here's the thing. I think I was talking to you last night about. I say Osaka,
Yeah.
but you say it.
I thought he said Osaka.
Yeah, I was like, I think it might have just been the accent, the way I say it.
And I'm like, wait, you used to be where our old studio was in Saitama, and then Lachlan was like, what's Saitama? And
I'm like, what is that?
completely misconstrued what you said. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I was in Osaka for.
It does sound like you're saying Osaka.
Yeah.
So what? Wait. So why Osaka?
So at the time, like the girl I was dating, she got a job out there, and I was like, I can do this anywhere. I can make content anywhere. And I love Japan. The few times I went for Pokemon, I was like, absolutely just loved it. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. So got one of those visas that allowed me to do like a working holiday for a year, and then just moved over, got an Airbnb, and off we go.
Hell yeah.
So set up a computer upstairs in this little concrete castle, and then off we go.
How was it recording YouTube videos with, in presumably a small Japanese apartment with neighbors and stuff? How was that?
Yeah, I didn't get any noise complaints.
You didn't?
I didn't. I like to think it was very soundproof, like concrete.
I don't know. It's
This is it though. You're right, because I was very conscious of that. I did not want to be that guy coming in just shouting, playing Fortnite at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was doing. I was doing the streaming thing at the time as well, so it was kind of just get hours in. But nah, man, that was so much fun. And then that got cut short because of COVID. I was like, I got to go back home. I got to.
So how long were you there for then?
I was only there for, I think, 2.5, 3 months.
Oh, wow. You
but
really weren't there long.
Yeah, and I was meant to be there for a full year. And I got cut short. And now I can't get that visa again.
How's your experience in Japan?
I loved it, man. It was so much fun. Like, just getting to like explore different towns, like every weekend, like even just running around Osaka and just finding all these new different places. And
I feel Osaka's great as well because like unlike people in Tokyo, I feel just like people in Osaka are just like a lot more like stranger friendly.
Yeah.
Well, like they're a lot more comfortable, I think, like not just with foreigners, but just like with people they don't know.
Yeah.
And just like a lot more like open. Like if you go up to someone in Osaka and just like start chatting with them, more times than in Tokyo, they're just like, yeah, okay, I'll engage in this conversation, you know, fucking have a bit of bant.
Yeah, a lot less English though. And for me, don't really speak Japanese.
Did you end up picking up any Japanese at all?
Like just enough to get by, you know. We ran Google Translate for the most, but like, you know, like your arigato,
I love hearing Australian accents.
Arigato.
Sayonara.
Sumimasen.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Sumimasen is the thing you say the most.
Yes, it really is. It really is.
Say for goddamn everything.
Yeah.
I heard you had a favorite ramen joint as well.
Okay, so we were talking about this in the break.
Yeah.
We got so this is the trash take, I guess, is that Ichiran is actually good.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Yeah.
These guys are dude, people in Japan love it. They go crazy for it.
No, it's like the most mid ramen.
It's the most 5 out of 10 ramen.
It's good. Why do you think it's so popular in Japan? It's not just tourists. It's really, really popular
because Japanese people will fucking form a line on any mediocrity if it's sold well enough.
Wow, okay.
They will. Like, there's so many places where it's like, why is there a line forming in front of this thing that the common understanding is that it's kind of mid as hell. Like at our old office, right? We had a Burger King. Like right near our station.
Okay.
There was a line forming at the fucking Burger King because there was a new burger that was coming out. And I'm like, what? Will Japanese people just like line up for anything that's new?
Yeah. I remember seeing like several lines outside of McDonald's as well. Several times.
I would line up for McDonald's.
I was going to say, I really liked Japanese McDonald's.
Japanese McDonald's is good.
Japanese McDonald's is good, but it's not something I'd be like, boys, I got to drop everything.
If I'm like
this is Michelin star.
I'm lining up for McDonald's.
There are very few things I would like line up for because I don't know, like maybe it's like when I've been getting older, but if I'm hungry, I just want food like now.
Yeah, I don't like lining up either.
Yeah, I don't like lining up.
There's like, have you seen those TikToks, whatever? They're like, this is the best onigiri place in Japan, and it's like a 2-hour line for a fucking onigiri.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Japan,
what is an onigiri?
It's just the rice ball.
Oh,
people will line up 2 hours just to get a fucking rice ball.
Yeah, like recently there's been this boom in Japan of like onigiri like specific like places.
Yeah.
And they supposedly it's like, oh, it's a different type of rice ball. Like we specialize in rice balls. I'm like, how much can you change a rice ball?
It's full cat. There's no way it's good.
But like that's the thing is like I feel Japan has this common idea where it's like they see a line or they see a crowd and the first instinct is, oh, I should probably join in on it because it's probably something that A, I don't want to miss out on, or B, is something really good because it's like, it must be good if there's a line in front of it.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
there's this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, even the people are just lining up because the line is there. Like, they're not actually thinking about, well, is it actually good? Or is the product even worth lining up for? And I feel Ichiran is a big culprit in that because Ichiran and a lot of these like big chains do this thing where they just like make the outside look flashy as fuck.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, we have great ramen, just, you know, blasting it out into the stratosphere. And the Japanese people look at it and be like, well, that looks kind of sick.
Well, I
Start lining up and then the line forms.
I think one of the things that Ichiran has done, you can just Google pictures of it.
Yeah.
You know, ramen places are traditionally very like dingy, very
Yeah.
kind of like
It
they're old,
definitely
they're
looks-
musky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's due to smell of smoke. You know, it's not like the and when you walk in and you look white as fuck, it's just like they all just like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
there's a few things that Ichiran does well, especially if you're a tourist, which is why I think it's so popular. It's one, like you can, it's so easy to order. There's no kind of like barrier to be like, oh, I'm going
But
to
that's
this.
also like made for Japanese people. They don't want to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, most ramen places, they just have, you know, a little vending
tickets,
machine
yeah,
where you can
yeah.
get tickets
Yeah.
and then you just give it to the dude, right?
But even like,
great.
Yeah.
even like trying to figure out the ticket machine is kind of like daunting if you've never been to Japan before
Yeah.
or you don't know how it works.
The one thing that Ichiran did really, really well was that like they're one of the best when it comes to like customizing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Your ramen?
That's it.
I always
That's
want to
it.
add like 10 more cloves of garlic, and Ichiran you can just add a fuck ton of garlic. And
Yeah,
I'm so
like they
down.
give you that option. So that's like the big selling point of ramen.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just because the options for customizability is there doesn't mean it's good.
I love it. I think it tastes fucking bomb.
Yeah, I tried to hit it like at least once a week when I was in Japan.
I'm not saying,
many calories,
I'm
man.
not saying,
Dude, I remember like I would finish a stream because 24 hours as well. At least one mine was 24 hours. I
Yeah.
don't know if yours
Yeah.
are. But it was like hit like a 4 or 5 hour stream. It was like, and it was winter too when I was there, like early in the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
ramen in winter is
100%. And I was like, just banged like a 5 hour stream. It's 2 a.m. I'm going down to Ichiran. And I get on my bike down Ichiran. And I think it was in a bit of a interesting place because there's a lot of guys in suits.
Oh, it's in
at two-
Shinjuku, right? It's pretty,
no, in
Well, it's in
Osaka.
Osaka.
Osaka. Oh,
yeah.
shit. Oh,
Yeah.
But it was like, I should probably not be here. I don't know. I was like, it was a bit sussy. Like, because it was in this
Yeah.
district where I think also like the strip clubs were as well.
Yeah.
And it was like just a lot of guys in suits, like on the, what are they? They were like on the corner of the intersection.
they're like the touts. They'll try and get you into places. And
Yeah, but it was just weird.
Well, also,
It's like-
I think I know the area you're talking about, and I guarantee the majority of those dudes in suits were probably Yakuza members.
hey, there we go. Yeah. And I'm just walking through, white guy on a bike, 2 a.m., going to get some Ichiran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it might be something going on here,
Yeah.
but like, you know, I just...
But
Mind-
goddamn,
mind-
I want those 10 extra clovers.
Hey,
I want that extra garlic.
go straight to Ichiran, get a great bowl, go home,
good.
bike home.
Okay, granted,
cheap.
I'm not saying Ichiran is bad.
Oh, backpedaling now.
but it's
aren't we?
it's not bad,
I'm
but
saying
it's
it's mid.
5 out of 10. It's the
I'm
most
saying it's
mid ramen you
I mean,
can
like
have.
my equivalent of, I guess, going to Japan and going to like Ichiran for me would be like going to America and going to McDonald's. You know, it's kind of like you go to a country where there's so much great choice of fucking burgers and fast food, and you choose McDonald's.
So in Japan, there's this kind of anomaly where like reviews of places are pretty consistently around the same score, but for ramen, they're always lower, like consistently. Like a 4-star ramen place is quite uncommon on Google Maps, but they'll always be 4-star like other restaurants.
Right.
And I realized, I'm like, yeah, because a lot of ramen places in Japan just fucking suck. Like sometimes they'll give you the chashu, the pork,
Yeah.
and it's just the worst piece of meat I've ever had in my life. It's
Yeah.
like gross, it's fatty, it doesn't taste of anything. And I'm like, dude, Ichiran never fucks this up.
Yeah, because they've been around for so long that they've like able to engineer it perfectly.
This is how
right?
chains come about. I'm
Yeah,
realizing.
but like
Yeah.
ramen shops in Japan are like some of the fastest.
Some of them are
moving-
good. Some of them are good.
I like
Some
the
of them are
fatty
bad.
chashu
Yeah.
though. I like the ones where
Yeah,
they're
but
like really
some
fatty.
of them, man, I don't know what they've done to that pork. It's like they abused it before they killed
Yeah,
it.
but ramen
It's so
shops
bad.
in general in Japan are like the most competitive scene
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Like a
The-
ramen
yeah.
shop could be there, and then like a month later it'd be gone.
Well, it's because the margins are so low. Like
Yeah,
you're selling
absolutely.
a bowl
Yeah,
of ramen for like, you can't sell a bowl of ramen for more than 1,200, 300, 1,300 yen.
Yeah.
Because just no one does that. So that doesn't give you a lot of time to make money.
All right, important question though. What's the best combini What was your convenience store of choice?
Okay, I started with 7-Eleven, but I think I got converted to Lawson's.
Yes!
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like all
That's
the
a correct
normies,
choice.
they start 7-Eleven,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, yeah, the fried chicken's good. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
right next to the 7-Eleven as well. Like, I
Right.
had walk out my door, 2-minute walk, 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So like I definitely still go there for like the easy ones, but if I could make it to Lawson's, it was an extra like 5-minute walk.
I always walk the
Yeah.
extra distance or drive the extra mile for the Lawsons because it's just so much better.
Yeah.
The coffee's decent. The food they have.
The sandwiches
Dude,
as well.
those hot bento things with the
love
katsu
those.
things they have.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
good. They don't miss. Lawson's really up the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're snacks. They're like own brand snacks. Like the
Yeah,
nuts and
they're
stuff.
so much
They're
better.
so
as well.
good.
Lawson branded stuff. Yeah.
They're so good.
It's really good.
Because the thing I noticed is that 7-Eleven has like 1 or 2 like good food pieces, I think.
Yeah.
And just that's it. And
Yeah.
everything else is just overshadowed.
Family
Lawson-
Mart is sadness.
all my homies hate Family Mart.
And they're everywhere in Tokyo.
Only the real ones.
They run
I think I
Tokyo
ever
as
went to
well.
a Family Mart. I
Good.
just in my area there was none.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. It pains me whenever someone goes to Japan and they were like, I got some Family Mart chicken and I fucking loved it. And I'm
Family
like,
Mart chicken's dog shit, dude.
oh, no.
It's dog shit.
I'm calling you out, Chris. 'Cause I don't,
No, Chris is converted to Lawson's.
has he? Okay,
he's
okay.
a
That's
Lawson's.
how
He's a
you know.
Lawson's.
It
That's
only
how
took
you
him
know.
10 years.
Well, 'cause he was telling me that apparently, like 10 years ago, like Lawson's just wasn't that good, and it was pretty bad. And then they had like a massive revamp, like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
And
right.
kind of just were like, we're redoing everything.
Yo, season 2 Lawson.
Yeah, so
Fucking slaps.
they
dude.
just like up the game, and then like now like they collaborate with like Muji, which is a Japanese kind of IKEA but more minimalist. And,
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah.
they just have all of like their really nice stuff in their stores. Like it's really nice. Like Lawson's are
Muji
great.
food also slaps.
Dude, yeah, everything they have there is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did you enjoy about Japan when you were living there?
Oh geez. I mean we did a stint in Kyoto for like a couple weeks.
Nice,
Well, actually not
nice.
a week, but that was like beautiful.
Was there a lot of tourists back when you were living there?
I did not see many in Osaka. I did not see many at
Oh,
all.
wow.
Oh wow!
Like
There
no.
was, I went the other week and there was so goddamn.
Well,
many.
I've heard now, like post COVID, all of Japan is just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's fucked
on
right now,
crazy
yeah.
right now. Which makes sense. Like couldn't go for so long, and everybody I felt like had this kind of like I want to travel, and I think Japan is it for everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
myself included.
What was
Yeah.
your biggest culture shock when you got there? Like, what was the one thing where you're like, whoa, Japan is epic?
Oh, that's a good question.
It was the vending machines.
Honestly, it was just how good the trains were.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Our
God.
public transport is dog
Oh, my God.
shit.
Yeah, compared to here?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Nah, like they so efficient, man.
Yeah.
And I think I remember once I was in there in the morning, like 6 a.m., and it was like everybody going to work. And it was like a stampede of like workers.
Oh,
in
yeah.
suits.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
actually like dystopian.
Yeah.
Like seeing, it was like in unison, they were walking almost like an army, like just into
Yeah.
these train stations. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. Because that was my first, kind of experience with the trains, and then
Yeah.
like figuring out how it works. And once you work it out, you're like, wow, this is so efficient and so great. Like,
You're like color go here. and
Yeah,
swap to this
literally.
Yeah.
color. Yeah.
nah,
It makes sense. I'm curious because you mentioned that your trip got cut short, and obviously you were only there for 2.5 months. But you must have moved there maybe when COVID murmurs were kind of already beginning.
yeah.
So what was that kind of like that 2 months of like
Probably
monitoring?
lived
it?
there the same time that we moved there, actually. 'Cause
Yeah,
we,
that's what
we
I
moved
was-
there like 3 months before COVID hit.
Actually, no. We moved in October, and then COVID lockdown officially kind of started
March.
late April. I
Yeah,
think.
March,
Yeah.
March, April.
I think I left late February.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
So it must have been roughly the same time.
Yeah, roughly
Yeah.
the same time.
So I traveled to America in February of COVID, and that was when they started asking. Like, it wasn't everywhere yet. There was a few cases dotted around, but they were like, "Oh, have you been to China in the past 14 days?"
Yeah.
You're like, "No, why?" And they'd be like, "No reason."
No reason. Yeah, no, like I was definitely like every day, like I think everybody was, right? Like especially like being in Asia when it, originated in China, it was like kind of like, my family were like, well, and I don't know if
because
it's
people didn't know anything.
yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't
Just
know all
wildly
in the dark
assuming everything.
and you've
Yeah.
seen all these articles and it's like, well, I don't know who to believe. This guy, that guy, there's a count on a sheet somewhere going up every day. Like, what's the count today? Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like I felt like I could have got stuck there forever, and maybe like I think for you guys it sounded like it was all right.
Yeah.
Stuck there, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Worked
like,
out for us. Yeah.
Worst things
Actually,
could
yeah,
happen.
if you'd have stayed, you probably would have been stuck there for the
Yeah,
for a year.
100%. Yeah, a full year, and like I didn't know if I was keen to do that, because like I liked where I lived, but like I lost all the luxuries. Oh, different. Yeah, no, there's like because it was winter, and I was in this like I'm not kidding, concrete castle. So like it was cold as shit. So like
Does it have AC or heating?
it had heating, but then you get like super dry. Like so, I tried not to use it. And I tried to have all these like I'd use it in combination with like an air or moisture
Humidifier.
Yeah, humidifier.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
the-
humidifiers were stupid until I moved to Japan.
Yeah, legit,
Oh.
same.
Okay,
Never had
you
one
need to
before.
survive.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, like I missed my space because you don't get
You don't get the space in Japan.
and I was pretty central to Osaka as well,
Right.
so like I was really not getting a lot of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, I don't know if I could do this for,
Right.
8-10 months. Plus,
Yeah.
like, I wasn't trying to be in a pandemic in a country where I don't speak the language. Like,
Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah. How did you find like the nightlife there? Because Osaka has a pretty like good nightlife scene.
Yeah, no, we went out pretty like not too often, but like we definitely had like good connections. So like where my girlfriend was working at the time, she had like connections with some of the nightclubs running there, and so we'd go out, and I actually became really good friends with one of the promoters at a couple of clubs. And he'd
Oh wow.
show us all these different clubs, and no, it was a good time. It was a really good time. I'm gonna hit him up when I go back for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Shout out my boy Mike. But yeah, no, I don't know. What did you guys like experience going out? Like I know I've heard a couple bits of you talking about like getting rejected at certain places and stuff.
Some places don't want you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Nothing like insane. I mean, we normally just go to bars. I don't
Yeah.
think we're not
Like-
big into clubs.
Initially, when we moved there, we tried to go to like the local izakayas and stuff like that, and then eventually we were just like, I think I just like bars now, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely in that bar scene now. Like
If I have to shout to talk to you,
It's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
No.
It just like every time I have to shout out sumimasen, like I feel like as a Brit, part of my lifespan just like decreases, you know? Because I know I have to do it, but I haven't gotten used to it yet.
Yeah.
So did you get to try a lot of like new Japanese foods like that? Like okay, so there's like the normal like mainstream kind of like ramen, sushi. Did you manage to try like any other like cuisines that aren't as like popular?
So I tried one of those like expensive Kobe beef experiences.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, now where do they say they overrated or underrated? Where are we doing?
Okay, is Kobe beef overrated?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
I think it is.
It's great, but it's like it's kind of a one-off thing. 'Cause it's super fatty.
Yeah.
It's really rich and really heavy.
It's like
so,
a once or twice a year thing. You know?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I still prefer a normal steak. Like a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
normal steak for me is still better than great Wagyu beef. Because
Yeah.
Wagyu beef is, I mean, it doesn't even taste the same as steak. It's
No,
just-
it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's,
no.
it's fat.
Yeah.
It's fat with a bit of meat in it.
But like I had one of those ones where it's like you sit down and they've got the plate.
teppanyaki?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they do that with the Kobe, and it was like, okay, this is kind of a vibe.
Yeah, I did that in Kobe recently, and it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys would have done a few, like, surely, because you guys do like the Japanese travel video, like,
Yeah,
type
yeah.
things. Like, surely you've done a few stints of, like,
Yeah, I mean,
Kobe.
not even just filming it, just trying out the experience, because of course you have to, And I remember when I did it, they had like the option of just like the amount of beef but you could order an extra large portion as well, and I'm like, I'm getting like the top tier beef, man. I got to get the extra large portion.
Fuck yeah, you got it.
And I remember having like half of it, and that half was like the perfect amount. That was like every bite was like godly. You see the fat. And then we got to the extra portion, and it was just too much, man.
Yeah.
Like it started going from tasting like godly to like I actually feel sick now.
Yeah, I made that mistake when the first time I had the olive wagyu.
Oh,
That's crazy. It's
Yeah.
more white than pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And it's
seen
like
that.
the first like 2 or 3 bites, it's just like, oh my god, I'm about to nut, and then and then the second half, I'm just like drinking olive oil at this point. It's just like I could feel my like pores just clogging up. as I'm eating
This is
it.
why like teppanyaki, like a traditional teppanyaki, is the best way to do it, because you'll have like a full course meal of like other stuff like veg, fish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all done on this thing, and then you'll have one course of like, all right, we'll give you a little bit of like maybe fatty beef or whatever.
Yeah, like I
So
understand
good.
why the portions are so small now. Because
Yeah.
like, that is the optimal amount.
Yeah, the only problem is that it's like fucking $200 to $300.
Also, the
It's
cost
so
is-
expensive. But if you have a little bit of money, definitely recommend doing it.
Yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
interested.
No, it was
It's definitely worth.
Well,
burning some
what did
money
you
on
think of it?
No, it was awesome. But my question to you guys: have you guys done the pufferfish? What's it called?
Fugu?
Oh,
that's
that-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's overrated.
Okay, no, but like, what's about? I've heard that you get like a little sensation in your mouth. Like, obviously you can die.
This is pretty
right?
fucking
But-
bland when I had it.
Yeah.
I felt like it
It-
tasted like nothing.
It just
Yeah.
the problem is that like because one there's no flavor and two like unlike a lot of other sushi where you know it's you can like chew it through it and it's fine. For some reason, pufferfish is like it's really incredibly chewy, so they have to cut this thing like paper thin.
Yeah, right.
Because any thicker and you'll just be it's like chewing gum.
Yeah.
essentially.
wow, that's not what you want. No, that's
And
not
it's
the
like
kind of texture
it's
I'm going
like
for.
prohibitively expensive. There's like a 1 in like 10,000 chance you can die from eating it
Yeah.
as well. And I'm just like, is it worth it?
Sounds
Yeah.
like that just sounds awful.
It's all just for
Yeah.
the
It-
prestige.
weigh it up.
You have to
You-
admire humans for just hearing it's poisonous and just being like, we can find a way. we got it.
Yeah.
Why did we even get here? Like,
Like, 'cause surely people had to die multiple times before
Yeah.
they were like, come on.
Well, they have to
There,
train like
there must
10
be
years,
something
right?
in here. Yeah.
It's like we could just stick to no. We're doing this.
Yeah.
We've decided.
If I had to pick the most overrated Japanese food, it would actually be pufferfish because
Yeah.
it tastes like shit. So it's the only taste you get is the taste of like the soy sauce, and you basically just eat it for the danger. You know,
maybe
Thrill seeking.
maybe
Yeah.
a controversial opinion here. I think ramen in Japan is it's good, but I also think it's pretty good outside of Japan now. Like, I don't think it's necessarily much better in Japan compared to like some nice places.
you getting
that I've
some
had.
good ramen in Wales?
Not Wales.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like-
Not Wales.
I
Like,
think if you pay enough money,
yeah.
like the more like I guess like not luxury but like
Yeah.
expensive ramen places outside of Japan, I think have gotten to the point where it's pretty difficult to differentiate between like one made in Japan, one made outside of Japan. But the advantage that Japanese ramen has is the price factor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
that's-
it's
yeah,
like
for sure,
if you
for sure.
buy like a $10 ramen in Japan, 9 times out of 10, it's pretty fucking good.
Right.
But if you buy a $10 ramen outside of Japan,
No, that was like
one
20
time
bucks,
out of 10,
yeah.
it's
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's like
yeah.
a bunch, like when I was in Vancouver, they have so many actual just Japanese like version, like Japanese like Vancouver counterpart to a Japanese restaurant that exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had like Hokkaido ramen in Vancouver that tasted just like it would in Japan.
Well, I think it
And was
definitely
run by
helps as
Japanese
well that
people.
like
Yeah, yeah.
Vancouver has such a high like Asian population.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
I think
Well,
that's
the demand is
I think
there.
that's less to do with Japan and more to do with just Vancouver being like having an amazing food culture.
Yeah.
I think that the point I was trying to get at is that like I don't think if you're coming to Japan, you only got like a week. I don't think you need to get ramen. I think there's a lot of other stuff that you just cannot get outside of Japan.
Yes.
like unagi. I've never
Yeah.
seen outside of Japan.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
unagi?
It's eel.
Eel.
Oh yeah, I had
yeah.
it. Yeah,
It's like smoked and then grilled and then coated with this really nice like sauce.
Yeah.
It's like
Rice.
kind of like barbecue kind of sauce.
Yeah, I had it and I was freaking out because I was like, "Fuck, man, I don't want to eat eel."
No,
But,
it's
like,
so good.
yeah, it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel outside of Japan, eel just has this like weird thing.
Yeah,
of
I
being
would-
like, I'm not
yeah.
fucking eating an eel.
Yeah.
The dead set though.
I
That's
would
it.
not eat. I think Japan eats like half of the world's eels or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have been. I made that the fuck up.
It's
something-
definitely, I'd say it's definitely the highest.
It's like an insane amount that Japan eats like a good chunk of the world's percentage of eels.
Yeah.
like it's,
Yeah.
it's like almost impressive.
It's because it's the
Because-
only
because they
country
cook
that's
it
actually
well.
managed to make it good.
Yeah.
and they're 100% of the food.
The British tried it and we were just like, let's just put in fucking jelly in it.
Japanese eel.
that shit's that's so
I
disgusting.
still want to try that.
Oh no, you don't.
I just want to see
man. No, you
how
don't.
bad it is.
It comes to fucking pie. They just put your pie on the side. Like it can't be good if it
Yeah.
comes with the pie on the side.
If I had to say one Japanese food that I think you shouldn't need to try if you come to Japan, Japanese curry.
Yeah, I've had so many outside of Japan.
Yeah, I think Japanese curry tastes like the same everywhere.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
It's pretty easy to replicate.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Like it's one that is of like it's a nice comfort food. There's a place where I'm like, fuck yes, give me some Japanese
Yeah,
curry. But
sure.
holy shit, if I've said some outrageous things about things tasting the same over my years in Trash Taste, but I do genuinely think that Japanese curry does taste the same no matter where you are in the world.
Because it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the simplest one to make. Like it's like just straight up just the most standardized curry that you can get out of all the different types of curry.
You
And
can
it's
buy
like,
those home blocks where you just snap a block.
Yeah.
put it in
Yeah,
water,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you have curry.
and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, kokoichi as well, especially, is like almost everywhere now at this point, and it really does just like taste the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Their cauliflower rice is pretty good. Though.
Cauliflower rice is
They do like, if you don't want the carbs, you can just get shredded cauliflower as rice. It's pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't feel as guilty.
yeah. No,
Oh,
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, have you guys seen the? I saw it on TikTok the other week. It was like these frozen ramen packs you can get, and apparently it's meant to be like restaurant quality. And like, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not a
Because
cap.
if you go to Lawson's or anything,
Yeah.
and you have ramen, it's frozen.
Yeah.
And so that when you put it in the microwave for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
when you're heating up the oil again, it like dissolves and then boils again.
Yeah.
And it is decent. It's fine. It's
It's better
not
than cup
restaurant.
ramen, but it's nowhere near.
I honestly kind of prefer cup ramen to those ramens.
Yeah, really.
I
I've
do,
never
yeah.
tried them. I was wondering if you guys have, but yeah, you have.
I used to live off them for like 2 weeks when I moved to Japan.
Yeah, I kind of like.
That's a weeb diet right there.
Yeah.
So I was
It's
like-
funny because I kind of like got off ramen after I moved to Japan.
It was
'Cause-
super bad for you. It's,
Yeah, it was-
it's
it's not
horrible
great.
for you.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Because
salt.
I'd realize after every time I'd have like a big ramen, it would just like kind of like knock me out for a few hours. Because it's not one of those meals where you can just have a nice ramen. It's one of and just like move on. It's just like have a ramen, you need to just sit down for a second.
feel
and just-
bloated.
and
Yeah,
just
so
digest.
bloated.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I actually like have not had much ramen since I've moved to Japan. I've actually like sushi. I have sushi quite a lot though.
Yeah.
Sushi has not gone down.
Oh yeah, of course.
What would you guys think is like traditional for like Australian? Like what's the Australian cuisine soul food kind of here?
Chicken palm, maybe.
Yeah,
'cause
chicken palmy.
I was gonna
Why is
ask
this-
how the hell did chicken palmy like become a staple of Australian cuisine?
I think it's really hard to hate chicken, cheese, and marinara. You know,
It's just like that classic like pub feed, and like that's culture.
I like how
where
you
it
laugh
came
at
from.
beans and toast about us, and you have just fucking chicken with cheese and
Yeah.
marinara. Like that's like.
well, I mean, you know, there's a lot of Aussies who eat, you know, like beans and toast.
Do you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
usst to have that for breakfast.
Yeah,
all the
it's
time,
it's
yeah.
a staple
I
like
love
breakfast
beans on
food here
toast.
as
Yeah, beans
well.
on toast goes hard as
good,
fuck.
alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you
absolutely.
like egg or cheese on it too.
Okay, now you're getting fancy. That's
That's way too fancy.
Yeah, you-
Australian. The thing with Australian cuisine is that it's 3 ingredients max.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, we could have, you know, like we could get really fancy with avo on toast, but why not just have avo and toast and that's it?
Maybe a little cracked salt and pepper. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if you're
Yeah,
feeling
if
fancy,
you're-
you know.
Yeah, if you're getting crazy, and
This
that's
sounds like
getting
British
crazy.
cooking. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
I guess what's the fish that we have here? That barramundi.
Yeah, barramundi.
Yeah,
fuck is
that's like
barramundi?
a pretty staple like pub feed here.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like-
like your fish
yeah.
and chips.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've not tried that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barramundi, like a barramundi like burger, or like even just like you can get all sorts of like barramundi in like pubs and stuff like that. It's pretty fucking
I think
good.
coffee culture here is my favorite.
Yeah, no, coffee
yeah,
bangs
yeah,
here.
yeah.
We make awesome
Coffee's
coffee,
so-
especially here in
Goes-
Melbourne.
especially
It goes
in
so
Melbourne,
hard.
yeah.
It goes so
Yeah.
hard here.
I remember the first time going to America getting coffee and be like, what the fuck is this shit? And then like Starbucks is this massive conglomerate company. I'm just like, they're just serving the worst coffee
Oh,
ever.
dude, you don't want to have coffee in Japan, man.
I actually, wait, I thought it was alright. I think Starbucks in Japan was actually alright.
Yeah, Starbucks.
only
is the only one,
Starbucks.
actually, yeah.
Which is
They're the-
like, yeah. so-
Anywhere outside of Starbucks, it's shit.
Well, no, there's some like, because what is it? Coffee's on the waves, right? So coffee's
Yeah.
on wave, like the wave 3, which is like the
Season 3.
Well, it's like the minimalist coffee, right?
Yeah.
So you go in, it's all concrete, wood, and then those kind of places are normally pretty decent because they're all espresso based, and
I feel it's a gamble though, because like I've been to some like really fancy looking coffee shops in
Some are-
Tokyo
some
where
are a
it's like
gamble.
the outside looks pristine, like you'd think it's been there for like hundreds of years, and it's just like the guy's just like professional about it all, and then you pay fucking $15 for a cup of coffee, and I'm like, this is just dirt water. Like,
I got really annoyed one time because I went to one that was kind of like similar,
Yeah.
and it was like it was all minimalist concrete, and he had an espresso machine there, and I was like, okay, let's go.
yeah.
And so I asked for a coffee, and I'm like, can I have a coffee? And so he just whips out like a pour over kit and starts pouring over it. I'm like, dude, right behind you, just that machine.
That's
please.
just for looks.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, dude, I thought it was going to be espresso. I wanted espresso. Such a first world problem. Such a first world problem, but I was just like so sad. I was like, no.
Did you ever one like very common thing with anyone who like goes to Japan for the first time and lives there for a period is the vending machine coffees? Were you ever on that or?
We dabbled in the boss a little bit. Yeah, we dabbled.
The boss knows.
Yeah, boss man knows, man.
The boss don't miss.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one I really liked? The one that had like the milk in it.
Rainbow one?
It would not. Oh, that one was good too.
Yeah.
But it was like it was like creamy caramelly color on the
It's
outside.
crazy how many variations there are of canned coffee.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are very, very sweet.
But like again, I was in the winter as well, and it was like
Oh, the hot one? Oh, yeah.
They're
Oh,
coming out hot, so it's like hit diffy. Like,
I do like the stabbing ones from the combini, you know, with the cartons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The non-sweetened ones. Or
Yeah.
they just call it espresso, even though it has milk.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Sometimes in the winter, I would not even like drink the coffee. I would just go to a vending
Hold on to
machine and just buy the whole coffee and just use it as a hand warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we went camping once. We went camping like near Mount Fuji. It was fucking
was in
freezing at
January,
night.
yeah.
And we didn't have any hand warmers. So what I did is just I went to the vending machine, fucking brought like 6 coffees and just like dipped my coat in like all like dipped put all the coffees like in my coat and just slept with like a blanket of like Boss coffee. And
For the boss would have
Shout out
wanted.
the boss. Yeah.
shout out to
would've
Boss,
wanted,
man.
The boss got me.
Yo, made sure I didn't freeze at night. Yo, you got it all, man. You got it all. So, what do you think is like? What do you think is the future like the next like 2-3 years for yourself?
That was crazy. That was a good transition.
Yeah,
I went from
that's-
like, what's your coffee to what were you doing?
What are we doing?
What's the 5-year plan?
So
Boss
I
man?
reckon here's the plan, right?
All
okay,
right.
I got like the next 6 months. That's the best I give you.
Okay,
Yeah.
hell
Because I never was thinking 6 months ahead at a time. 6 months. So next couple months, do some traveling, enjoy life,
Come to
vacation a little
Japan?
bit. Yeah, come to Japan as well. Yep, yep.
Hell yeah.
Late July, August. So this is a little after that, but yeah, we'll keep it going. Just gonna see a lot of my friends overseas. They got a couple bucks stags and weddings going on, so just gonna enjoy that. Come back, studio's ready, grind. Like I'm gonna hit. So I've hit like a couple hard grinds in my career. So like starting off in Minecraft, like
Grind.
grind. Biggest grind going. You know how they have that thing where it's like, you know, you can pick work, friends, and then like family or something, and it's like pick 2. I think.
Isn't it rest? It's like work, family, and rest.
I think that one's the one too.
Or is it that one? Fuck, I don't know.
Anyway, well, the thing was I picked work and then I picked work again, so it doesn't matter. Which is
That's just YouTubers.
yeah, that's it, right? But that was like first 4 years was biggest grind ever. Took a little bit of a break.
yeah.
Pokemon Go came out, big grind. Fortnite came out, massive like 4-year long grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tapered off last year. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to hit one last grind.
The last grind.
The last grind. Season 4 finale.
Season 4 grind.
What did Attack on Titan do? Like the part 2 of the season 4 ending. Like, I don't know how they're...
The grind. The
It's,
final
Yeah,
boss.
it's like
final
the last grind that lasts like 10 years or something, you
Yeah.
know? It's like, okay, this is the last
Yeah.
grind,
Promise.
season
The final
6.
grind part 1.
Tune in. All right? It's the final boss.
In your career, have you had a point where you're like, this is the last year, this is the last grind, and I'm going to chill?
Well, I think even
take
this
it
is
easy?
like kind of very bold as fuck to say this is the last grind at the age of 28.
You're going to grind again.
I might
yeah.
grind again. We
Absolutely
might.
gonna grind.
Hey,
Yeah.
what are they doing like
But it
respins?
sounds cool to say the last grind.
Yeah.
It does sound cooler. But I think that's like the last grind before like you start looking at like the more serious
Like,
type.
what's the next 10 years looking like?
Well,
right?
like, you know, you got to have like, you don't have to, right? But like in my head, I would like to, you know, one day have a wife and kids. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you can do that with that level of grind. So I
Oh,
think
no,
this is
no.
the season finale of grind before the serious era.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
But I feel like there's a fact, you know, as a married man here, guys. I guess.
It's been 0 days.
I guess. You're
married, Garnt?
Yeah, I'm married.
Do you have
but-
kids though?
No, I don't.
Yes, I feel like that's the big.
Oh, okay, that is
yeah,
the big
I feel
thing.
like that's the big one.
Because right now, I guess both me and my wife are grinding.
Yeah, love that. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. So I feel like the big turning point is when kids come, and but like I feel, you know, even though you have kids, even though you get married or something, I feel like there's a fallacy to be like I have to like give up this part of my life, you know,
Yeah.
because I feel like there is like, you know, there's been YouTubers who have had kids and built families and not made content around it, like a toxic kind of way, so I feel like there is a way to adjust your lifestyle to, I guess, grow up a bit.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But like this level of grind, it doesn't.
Oh no, like the daily uploads, the fucking working every day, 16 hours, that's gotta stop.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, definitely looking to not do that again. And even then, like with this one I'm coming back on, it's like I'm definitely looking to outsource a lot more of team and like trying to build, spending this 2 months to build that team.
Yeah, how many people are you working with right now? How
So I
big's your
think
team?
between myself and Power and contractors, including like players, I'd say I think we're at like 30. 30 and a
Fucking
half,
hell.
35.
Got to make some Fortnite videos.
But this is the thing with the orgs, right? Like there's just so many people that like that's where it comes out of. And I'm like, I think we're doing well. Like outside of myself, we're not profitable yet, but we're like very close.
When
That's
do you
great.
think you'll get
probably not
profitable?
bleeding money is.
No, I'm not. I hate losing money.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
How long do you think you'll need before you get profitable? In terms
I
of,
reckon
like,
if
your
I'm not
esports?
profitable next year, that would be amazing. Like we're close. Like I think like our investment in this studio office is I think if we didn't do that, I think we actually would be profitable.
Okay.
So it's like a reinvestment kind of thing. So we're close.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, good
Yeah.
to hear.
Awesome.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
Yeah.
thank you for telling us all about it and educating
absolutely.
us a bit on Fortnite and
It's
Pokémon Go.
it's not that overrated. It's a little bit. It's not.
Nice.
But
right,
if you'd
brilliant.
like to check out Lachlan's stuff, then obviously I left it in the description below, so make sure to check it out. Hey, look at all these patrons though.
Look at all.
Yeah, look at
You
them
see all these patrons on screen right now? There's so
these guys are
many.
epic.
Yeah.
Who do you think is a Fortnite player out of these guys?
It's this guy.
He's like, fuck, how do you know?
I was like, fuck, where are they?
Is there anything you want to shout out yourself?
No, but I mean, hey, if you guys could get behind Power whenever you see us playing
yeah,
any
dude.
games,
Hell
very much
yeah.
appreciate it. We are the underdogs.
New fan today. 3 new fans. I think.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, boys.
Man,
appreciate
get a bit
it.
of Aussie pride in there, man.
That's
yeah,
it.
dude.
That's
Fuck,
it.
that's what's
And even if you're not Aussie and you just want to support the Aussie boys, get behind us on the next LAN. And make sure to stay tuned for the final season.
All right.
The final grind.
Final grind.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, if you'd like to support the show, then go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And thanks so much, Lachlan.
No worries, boys.
Thank you very much, man.
See you guys next week.
Cheers.
Bye.